Game 36 of 36 at home. Gladiators on Fan Appreciation Night at Gas South Arena welcome the Orlando Solar Bears to town for the final meeting of the season between these two. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau as well. Andrew, we have made it. We are towards the end of the regular season. This is the Gladiators' final home game of the 2025-26 campaign. A lot of memories made in this building, and thankfully there's going to be a few more with the postseason looming. Gladiators are on a 4-game losing skid, though. What do they need to do to get back on track here tonight?
Yeah, you'd love to say score early. It's been a while since the Gladiators have scored a first-period goal. You'd love to see them come out here early in this game and strike and get off to a good start in this first period.
Gladiators with their overtime loss to Savannah, 3-2 on Tuesday. Now hold a record of 42-22, 3-1 on the campaign. They currently sit in third place in the division with 88 points, two back of South Carolina, who has played the same amount of games of them coming into the night. And so Atlanta still has a shot at home ice advantage in the first round, but they're going to need a little bit of help from Florida, who is playing South Carolina here tonight. And of course, they need to take care of their own business against an Orlando team that has already been eliminated from the playoff field with a record of 26-36, 4-1. 57 points on the season has Orlando dead last in the South Division. Andrew, the Gladiators have getting a lot of help in their lineup as of late. Maybe a bit of a surprise to some. Eric Neely is back, had a big game, an interesting game on Tuesday night, scored a goal for the Gladiators. He is back, and he is back in a big way. We're going to see him on a line with Cody Sylvester and Joey Cipollone here tonight. I'm calling that line the Back to the Future lines. It seems like you've got the past, the present, and the future of Gladiators hockey there, but there's a lot to like about Eric Neely returning to this Gladiators lineup.
Yeah, felt like he had a lot of jump on Tuesday night and really just want to see him build off that here tonight, obviously sliding in on that line with Sylvester and Cipollone. A lot of potential on that line. It feels like three guys, kind of veterans of the game. They have good minds, good hockey IQs. They can really figure each other out, and I like that line going into tonight.
And for Cody Sylvester, this is his final regular season home game in this building. It was announced earlier in the week that he will retire from professional hockey at the end of the season. And so there will be a special pregame ceremony honoring the career of Cody Sylvester after the national anthem here tonight. But, Andrew, this is a guy who has had a heck of a career in the ECHL. And I think when all is said and done, we might see number 16 and maybe number 59 up in the rafters here in this building at some point in the not-too-distant future. I mean, this is a guy that is second in goals all time with the club, fourth in assists, third in points, fourth in games played his 300th game with the Gladiators on Tuesday night. He's done it all. It's been a heck of a career for Cody Sylvester.
Yeah, he's been absolutely huge for this team, going back to since when he started with this team, and now with the C on his chest, it feels like he's just kind of building on that. He's really taken this team under his wing, and we've seen it all season, getting this team back into the playoffs under his leadership. And you see how these guys respond to him. He's a real vocal leader in that locker room, and we've seen it on the ice with just how hard this team plays, and it all starts with number 16.
And we'll see if this Gladiators team can really rally around Cody Sylvester, as the season's not done yet. They still have the playoffs right around the corner. We'll see if they can go on a long run to see if they can get that Kelly Cup for old number 16. And speaking of Joey Cipollone, the setter for that line here tonight, he is playing in his 200th career professional game here today. So a lot of milestones for that line, a lot of memories, a lot of fun to be had. We'll keep a close eye on it. And we'll also keep a close eye on the goaltending matchup here today, Andrew, as we have TJ Semptimphelter for the Gladiators, who's been phenomenal all season long, going up against the rookie Samuel Richard for Orlando, who's making his first professional start.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting in net for both teams tonight. Obviously, Semptimphelter has just been so good for this Gladiators team all season. It feels like every single time that he's on the ice, he gives this team a chance to win. And going up against the young Samuel Richard for Orlando, as you said, Guy, making his first professional debut, or his first professional start here for Orlando. It's going to be interesting to see kind of how he handles, I guess you could say, the bright lights, here tonight in Atlanta against a team that's fighting for a playoff spot, playing for an Orlando team that doesn't really have much to play for at this point in the year, having been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. So it's going to be really interesting to see both teams in net tonight.
And for the Gladiators, they're going to need a good start. Their first periods over the last 4 games during this losing skid, woeful. They have not scored a first-period goal in each of their last 4 games. And it also feels like they need to find a way to tune up their special teams as well as the power play and penalty kill have been slumping during this losing stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for this team to get right in the special teams department, especially going into the playoffs. Playoffs, it feels like, the goal scoring kind of dips down a little bit. Games get a little bit tighter, tight checking, harder games, and you're going to need your special teams to come up huge for you because, in the playoffs, you're not going to get many opportunities on the power plays. As, referees like to let the boys play a little bit more in playoff hockey. So when you get opportunities on the power play, you really have to make it worth your while and score on those. And when you end up in the box, penalty kills are going to become just that much important in the playoffs.
Last time these two teams got together, it was a very physical game. And it wasn't too long ago, just 2 weeks ago, these two teams saw each other. Very bruising two-game series between these two. I'm interested to see, Andrew, if that has any carryover here to tonight, the final regular season meeting between these two teams. And we'll see if there's any fireworks between Atlanta and Orlando.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. Final time these two teams will see each other this season, 7th time. So obviously, when you play these teams in your division as much as you do in this league, there's going to be bad blood between both teams. And, with as many times as Atlanta's played Orlando this year, you got to think maybe a little something brewing here tonight.
Our very own Shelby Rabideau spent some time around the concourse to check out things for Fan Appreciation Night. Here she is to break it all down on this matchup between Atlanta and Orlando.
Hi, Gladiators fans. Shelby Rabideau here with tonight's pregame. Tonight is the final home game for the Gladiators as they take on the Orlando Solar Bears for the 7th time this season. The last time Atlanta saw Orlando was at Gas South Arena on March 27th, where the Gladiators took the win 3-1. The last time you saw the Gladiators was on Tuesday, where they took on the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Former captain Eric Neely made his return to the Gladiators, netting his first goal of the season. However, the Gladiators fell short in overtime to Savannah. Tonight, the Gladiators are hosting Fan Appreciation Night and honoring Captain Cody Sylvester as he plans to retire following this season. You don't want to miss this game as the Gladiators look to close their home season with a big win.
So the Gladiators meet the Solar Bears here in the first game of what will be a 3-3 between the Gladiators and their three different divisional opponents this weekend. It will be in Jacksonville tomorrow night and Savannah Sunday afternoon before spending their final regular season game in Greenville next Sunday. When we come back to Gas South Arena, we will get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda and the starting lineups as well as Atlanta meets Orlando for the final time this season.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Welcome to Gas South Arena, home of the Atlanta Gladiators. It is the final home game of the regular season. Just 4 games remain, and the Atlanta Gladiators look to defend the Coliseum as the Orlando Solar Bears come to town for the final meeting between the two this regular season. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau as well, as the Gladiators look to get set for their playoff run coming up in just about 2 weeks' time. Let's get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda on this Friday night of hockey presented by Freddy's. Key number 1 is the details. Keys to the game from head coach Matt Ginn, and the Gladiators not really like the fine details of their game in the midst of this 4-game losing streak. They will look to pick their game apart a little bit, analyze the deeper areas of it, and get back to their winning ways. Second key is energy and compete. Gladiators playing in front of their fans for the final time in this regular season. Looking to get a little bit of boost from that, especially with this being the final regular season home game for Cody Sylvester, who has announced his retirement at the end of the 2025-26 campaign. And finally, the third key is to dictate the game. The Gladiators are at their best. When they do this, they get into their structure, and especially if they score first, we'll see if they can do that again here tonight, as the Gladiators this season, when scoring first, hold a record of 35-1-1. All right, let's get to the starting lineups here today between the Gladiators and the Solar Bears. We will start with Orlando, who will start number 91, Aaron Luchuk at left wing. Starting center is number 81, Anthony Bardero. At right wing, it is number 57, Jared Lukasavages. At left defense, it'll be number 4, Chris Harper, under contract to Syracuse of the AHL, the affiliate of the Orlando Solar Bears. And at right defense, it'll be number 6, Logan Britt, to round things out for the starting 5 skaters for Orlando. And in net here today, making his first professional start, number 33, Samuel Richard, the first-year pro out of UMass Lowell, came in relief of Connor Unger back on March 21st, stopping 9 of 12 and a 9-2 loss at Florida. Tonight is his first professional start, and the Gladiators look to give him a warm welcome to the show, especially after Atlanta has struggled to score in first periods as of late. Solar Bears are led by head coach and general manager Matt McDonald. Assistant coach is Adam Dowda. Now here are your Atlanta Gladiators coming out of the tunnel right now. At left defense, it's number 8, Ryan Conroy, standing at 5'9", 185, native of Chestermere, Alberta, has 4 goals and 10 assists in 63 games this season. His starting D partner is number 2, Brendan Less, standing at 6'1", 181, native of Kittleton, New Jersey, has 3 goals and 12 assists for 15 points in 53 games. At left wing, the captain, number 16, Cody Sylvester, standing at 5'11", 192, native of Kelowna, BC, 18 goals, 23 assists, 41 points in 68 games. And the starting center is number 71, Joey Cipollone, standing at 5'11", 192, native of Purchase, New York, has 15 goals, 19 assists for 34 points in 68 games. And at right wing, back and better than ever, number 59, Eric Neely, standing at 5'11", 190. In 1 game back with the Gladiators this year, 1 goal scored on Tuesday night. And in net all the way from Marlton, New Jersey, number 35, TJ Septemfelter, standing at 6'1", 190. Septemfelter this year, he was under contract with the Gladiators AHL affiliate, the Milwaukee Admirals. Has 33 games to his name this season, posting a record of 20-10-1-1, 2.18 goals against average, .921 save percentage, and 1 shutout as well. He has been spectacular, and he will lead the Gladiators in goal. Non-dressers for Atlanta here today. Number 74, Dylan Carabia. Number 6, Andrew Jarvis. Number 7, Mickey Burns. Number 23, Riley Pelton. Number 39, Chad Nychuk, all on injured reserve. Your scratches today, number 37, Ethan Scardina, and number 22, Isaac Walter, along with number 30, Colby Muse. Gladiators are led by head coach and director of hockey operations, Matt Ginn. Assistant coach is Zach Fennell. Equipment managers, Ben Ellis. Athletic trainers, Nick Nelson. I'm Guy Chiarenza, here on this Friday night, presented by Freddy's, alongside Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, to bring you the final regular season home game of the year. It was announced earlier in the week that Captain Cody Sylvester is set to retire from professional hockey following the conclusion of the 2025-26 season. The Gladiators, to honor his spectacular playing career, have put together a pregame ceremony following the God Bless America and the National Anthem. God Bless America brought to you by Free Chapel College and the National Anthem by Brandon High School.
One more time. Thank you, Tucker Phillips. Now, please remove caps and remain standing with hands over hearts as we honor America and all the brave men and women who served our country with the playing of the national anthem performed by Brandon High School. Delivery, tonight's promo puck delivery, and dropping the first puck of the evening. Please welcome proud Gladiators partner, Hollywood Feed. And they are joined by the adoptable dog of the game, Hockey. And thank you, Hollywood Feed. Gladiator fans, please join us in honoring Captain Cody Sylvester, who will be retiring from professional hockey following the conclusion of this season.
Babe, just wanted to get on here and tell you how proud we were of you. Congratulations on an incredible career. You know, retiring is not an easy decision and it comes with a lot of emotions. We couldn't be more proud of you. It's such an honor to be a part of our journey. I'm just so thrilled for you. I know this next chapter in life is not an ending, but a beginning, and it's only going to get better from here. We're excited to have you home more often, and excited to watch you guys playoffs because this is not the end. The season, we still have so much more hockey to go, and we want to end this season on an incredible high. Keep rallying. We're excited to watch you. We love you, and congratulations.
After 13 seasons of professional hockey with stops in Wheeling, Wilkes-Barre Scranton, South Carolina, Germany, Austria, and The Atlanta Gladiators would like to congratulate Cody Sylvester on an outstanding career in which he has scored 253 goals and 314 assists for 567 points in 691 games. Cody Sylvester has been a member and leader of the Atlanta Gladiators family for the past 5 seasons and was an alternate captain for 3 seasons before being named our captain for the 2025-26 season. In 300 career games with the Gladiators, Cody has racked up 119 goals and 144 assists for 263 points and is currently 2nd in goals, 4th in assists, and 3rd in points in the franchise's history. He is also one of just 4 players to have appeared in 300 or more games with them. Cody has supplied Gladiators Nation with countless memories over the years, including setting the franchise's single-season goals record with 38 goals in the 2022-23 season, being named to the 2023 ECHL Second All-Star Team, and a knack for being clutch. His 24 game-winning goals are the 2nd most in franchise history. Thanks for the memories, Cody. Wishing you all the best in retirement. Gladiator fans, make some noise for number 16, Captain Cody
Brooke Sylvester couldn't have said it any better. Let's play hockey. The Atlanta Gladiators and the Orlando Solar Bears are all ready to roll here on the final regular season game of the 2025-26 season. It will be Cody Sylvester's last, as he has announced his retirement from professional hockey following the conclusion of the campaign. Andrew, I think it could be a good night for number 16. Maybe shatter some more records for these Gladiators.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Playing on a line with his old buddy Eric Neely and centered by Joey Cipollone. New look line here for the Gladiators. Would love to see them strike early.
Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming, joined by Shelby Rabideau as well. It's a good night for hockey in Duluth, and we are underway. Friday night hockey presented by Freddy's. Gladiators win the opening faceoff and punch it into Orlando ice. Solar Bears quickly swoop out to center as Bardero makes his way over the red line. Not much more as he meets a few Gladiators in front of their own bench. Puck does trickle to the right wing for a pass inside. Save made by Semptimphelter on Lucas Savages as Brendan Less will haul it out and ladle it down for an icing. 29 seconds in. And so for the Gladiators, that Sylvester line with Cipollone and Neely does get the start. The 2 starting blue liners are Conroy and Less, with Semptimphelter as the starting netminder here today. We saw Cody Sylvester drop down to play with Eric Neely, with Carson Denemy as the center on Tuesday. Now we see him reunited with Neely and Cipollone. We're on this 3rd line for Atlanta on this Friday night. Gladiators outlet to the neutral zone. Here is Sylvester on his backhand. Will backpedal into his own zone. Pass across to Less. He'll spin away from pressure from Milo Rollins, who returns to the lineup for Orlando. And now Conroy will flip it to the neutral zone. Cipollone directs it in, but on the wrong side of the red line. Another icing 55 seconds in.
Yeah, a tough break there for the Gladiators. Had possession in their own zone. Joey Cipollone just looking for a quick chip into the zone to get off for a change. But he chips out one in from behind the red line, goes down for an icing, and him, Conroy, and Les going to be stuck out there for this face-off.
Fans, you can make your pick as to who you think is going to score the Gladiators' first goal and factor in with the first assist. Head on over to our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, X, and of course in our YouTube live chat as well to cast your vote. First goal, first assist brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank and Pinnacle Promotions, respectively. Puck in the Gladiators zone. Keeping it alive is Bird. Tries to feather it inside, but Isley gets in front of it, and the rookie will steer it to the right wing for Bulmer. It'll glance off his stick and sputter back to Les. And now he will look to start this Gladiators breakout. Finds O'Brien left wing. Drops it off for Isley. Pass across. Makes its way to Bulmer after hitting the wall. Gladiators cycle to the line. Gaudette centering for Bulmer, and his shot is stopped by Richard. Gladiators looking to test the rookie early in his first professional start. Now Gaudette, unable to keep the line, will chase it through center and back to Gladiator territory. Like that shot from Brett Bulmer there, Andrew. Veteran presence for Atlanta, testing Richard early. As the puck makes its way deep into Orlando territory, no icing this time. Garagach outlets to the neutral zone. Taking it on the fly is Eddie. Make his way to the left wing, pump it around to the near. Nobody home for Orlando as Zach Yoder starts the breakout. Puck will skip to Evan Orr, his D partner. They'll combine with Francis to work their way up ice. Now from the right wing, McNamee returning to the lineup, steers it into the near corner. Logan Britt will grab it for Orlando and punch it out to center, where Yoder returns the favor by banging it back up the ice. Young caught in a bind, rubbed off the puck over the blue line. Puck will chip out to the neutral zone. Carrying it in on the right wing is Massimo Lombardi. They'll put it a bit deeper to the trapezoid, where Irie helps it away from Eddie. They'll locate Yoder behind his own net, and the Gladiators will look to turn up ice once more. Irie over the red line, feeds it into the far corner. Nolan will give chase. He is shadowed by Chris Harper, the defenseman for Orlando. Les at the right point takes a shot. Deflection in front of Richard, but it stays out. Now in the near corner, Orlando looks to exit. Conroy keeps the line, but Nolan forced out to center. Conroy grabs it back, skates over Orlando blue. He'll take a shot off a stick and out of play. Just 3 minutes and 16 seconds into the contest.
Yeah, going back to that chance for Bulmer guy, it was a really nice setup by the Gladiators in the zone. Puck comes up high to Orzak. He slides it over to his D partner there, Gaudette, and then Bulmer takes some open ice, curls up high into some soft area where Gaudette's able to find him in the high slot, and Bulmer with a good opportunity on net.
Face off along the near circle. Sylvester, Cipollone, Neely line back on the ice. Draw is one. Conroy at the line, feeling some pressure. Ladles it to the right wing wall for Neely. Tries to turn and shoot, hits a body on the way. Conroy keeps it in the zone, spins at the half wall, puts it to the line for a shot save. The rebound is available. Cipollone on the doorstep, denied and tied up. As making the defensive stand in front for Orlando was Xavier Lapointe, the rookie for the Solar Bears. He now has it from the left wing. He'll take a shot himself, and Septenfelter makes the save. And after the play, Cipollone took a check courtesy of Lapointe on a play that started all the way on the other end of the ice.
Yeah, Cipollone didn't like the way he was being held up out in front of the Orlando net by Lapointe and then tried to return the favor to him behind the Gladiators net after that hit. But a really nice setup there by the Gladiators. Neely rotates up high, takes a one-timer from the point with a lot of traffic out from both Cipollone and Sylvester. Gladiators testing the young goalie Richard early here.
Good time to mention, we have a four-man officiating crew. Referees are Mitchell Hardy, wearing number 48. Rocco Stakoviak, wearing number 28. Linesmen are Quinn Schaefer, wearing number 49. And Sean Deloe, wearing number 95. Orlando through center. It is Bardero from the left wing, pulling up, finding Lucas Savages. Tries to spin in across the line, but a good active stick from these Gladiators. Push it out to center. So the Solar Bears will dump it in. Puck wraps around the boards to the far corner. Orzek locates Gaudette on the near side. He'll fling it to center for Neely in front of the Gladiators bench. Now O'Brien from the red line just whacks it into Solar Bear territory. Gladiators get off for a partial change as they create a turnover at center. It is Bulmer along the left wing, pulling up at the point. Orlando's able to snatch it back as Bird rumbles on in. Delays two roll-ins, pass inside over the stick of the intended target. They'll sneak it into the far corner where O'Brien's able to pick it back up. He'll skate over to center circle, drifting down the right wing. He'll backhand it behind Richard, where it's gathered by Britt. The defenseman for the Solar Bears scans his options. He will just heave it to the neutral zone, where it's batted down by Yoder. Played on him by Bird. Solar Bears are offside with just 5:04 gone by in period 1.
Some pretty good ozone time for the Gladiators early in these first 5 minutes. Doing a good job of putting pucks on net, generating some opportunities in the Orlando zone.
Face off in front of the Gladiators bench. Young will take the draw up against Drevich. Young has won it, lifts it into Orlando territory. Taking a spill is Less at the right point. Puck stays in the Orlando end. Gladiators swipe it to the near corner. We're getting to work is McNamee and Young. Britt somehow able to escape that pile. Feathers it to the left wing. Now the pass to the right. Hits a skate. Goes away for an icing on the Solar Bears. 5:30 in.
Yeah, nice job by the Gladiators there, forcing that icing. Really good coverage on Orlando as they were trying to break out of their zone there. Not able to complete a clean pass out of their zone. It goes down for an icing. Offensive zone draw to the left of Richard for Atlanta here.
Face off to the left of Richard. On the ice now for the Gladiators. Young, Francis, and McNamee. Conroy and Less will man the blue line. Gladiators win the draw. Francis quickly makes his way to the right point. Swoops it around the horn to the left as Conroy pinches from the line. Solar Bears get a piece of that puck and are able to jam it out. It'll skip to Atlanta territory. It'll go down as another icing with 14:14 on the clock.
Again, another really good forecheck by Atlanta there, where Orlando has to just settle for an icing there. Really good pressure by this line of Young, Francis, and McNamee. Hopefully they can strike here with a couple of tired Solar Bears on the ice.
Once again, a face-off to the left of Richard. Young will take this draw against Drevich once again. We saw Tyler's brother Logan on Tuesday. He scored the overtime winner for Savannah. And now Tyler, the former Gladiator, playing here again tonight. As Conroy takes a long shot from the left point. That's eaten up by Richard. And it'll stop the clock with 14:06 left in period 1. And so for the Gladiators, they look to test Richard as much as they can. First-year pro, making his first professional start out of UMass Lowell, where he recorded a 6-9 record in 18 appearances last season, or I should say this season. They 2.93 goals against average, 900 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Orlando able to merge out of their own zone. Off of the latest face-off. They'll plug it down to Septemfelter, wheels it to the near side. Pinching is Lombardi. Gladiators able to shake the puck away from him and whip it into open ice in front of the Orlando bench. Solar Bears continue to press on in as Les grabs it at his own end wall. Scoots it to Conroy, who waits behind his own net, but time and space quickly evaporating. Eddie all over him. 2 checks on Conroy. Does divorce him from the puck, but his teammates in the area are able to scoop it up and chip it out to center, where Orlando is able to repossess. LaPointe up the ice, gains the attacking line, drifts to the right point, angles it off the near corner to the far. Orzek gets a stick on it to jab it to Nolan. Trying to evade a broken stick, ends up turning it over. Left wing shot, gobbled up by Septemfelter. Robbing Jared Lucas Savages with 13:09 left in period 1. Still a scoreless affair here in Duluth, but the Gladiators have outshot the Solar Bears 5-2. We'll see if Atlanta can get on the board when we come back after these words from our local partners.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Spice it up at Freddy's by trying the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich or chicken tenders of the new Molten Chocolate Cake Shake. Check it all out at Freddy's at 2230 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. This Friday night of hockey is presented by our good friends over at Freddy's. The Gladiators are looking to get on the board here first. Andrew and I mentioned how important it is for these Gladiators to score first this season. Seems like they really like to play with the lead, get into their defensive structure, and backstopped by great goaltending. That's how they typically win. Gladiators this season, when scoring first, are 35-1-1. No score yet in this one. 2-on-2 through the neutral zone as Bardero carries it in. Pass to the left wing, skips to Semptimphelter, and he's able to snag it, making a glove save with 12:54 on the clock.
Yeah, really aware save by Semptimphelter there. Bardero racing his way into the zone there, tries to center it. Cam Gaudette with a good stick, tips it, ends up right on net on Semptimphelter. Nice save by him.
So we'll see a face-off to the right of TJ Semptimphelter. Joey Cipollone will take this against Anthony Bardero, who has been a lethal weapon against the Gladiators this season. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points in 6 games prior in the season series. He is Orlando's leading scorer against Atlanta this year and had a hat trick in the final meeting between these two in Orlando earlier this year. Eric Neely carries it out to center off a face-off victory. Plugs it to the end wall where Sylvester checks his man. Gladiators unable to keep the zone, though, as the puck breezes by Gaudette, but this will not be an icing as Orzek goes to retrieve. The Gladiators don't catch a break there as Luchuk and company try and hold the zone. Gladiators force him out to center. Good work by Cipollone, but looks like we do have our first penalty of the game, and it's going to be a tripping call, presumably against the Gladiators.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be on Cipollone here. Just a little too much stick work on that forecheck there. Takes his man down. Atlanta to the kill.
Gladiators ended up going just 1 for 2 against Savannah on Tuesday night. That lone power play goal was scored in overtime with Eric Neely in the box for delay of game. So at 12:27 left in period 1. Cipollone to the box for tripping, and the Gladiators to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. And during this 4-game losing skid, this Gladiators PK has gone 10 for 14, 71% in that span. See if they can right the ship here as Conroy from his own goal line looks to chip it out. Orlando keeps the zone. Bardero right wing shot to the back door, and they score. Orlando with a power play goal gets on the board first. Jared Lukasavages waiting and lurking in the backdoor area, scores to make it a 1-0 Orlando lead.
Yeah, really nice setup there by the Solar Bears. They're able to open it up for Bardero on that strong side. He walks in, fakes the shot, and finds Lukasavages wide open on the back door for a nice one-timer from a sharp angle to give Orlando the early lead here on the power play.
And so the Gladiators' special teams woes continue. 0 for 1 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill to start. For Jared Lukasavages, certainly hasn't had the season that he or the Solar Bears thought he would have, but it is goal number 9, and he has picked up the pace as of late. Now up to 30 points on the year in 58 games. If you can believe it, it's just his second power play goal of the season. Now the Gladiators looking to get that one back and tie the game. And it looks like behind the play, we have a check, and Bulmer is down. That's going to draw a penalty, and the Gladiators will have a chance to tie it on the power play.
Yeah, it looks like Harper took Bulmer down from behind in the corner behind the play. Put Atlanta on the power play.
Game is a bit of ways away from the play. Get a good look at it here. As looks like Bulmer got high sticked as he was trying to chase the puck into the near corner. And so Harper will take a seat. The Gladiators are off to the Eco-Electric power play for the first time tonight.
Big opportunity for Atlanta here to tie this one up on the power play. Quickly answer this Orlando goal.
It is just a minor penalty to Harper that has him in the box. This Gladiators power play this season operates at 18.3%, 14th best in the ECHL going up against the league's 20th ranked penalty kill at 79.6% for Orlando. And the Solar Bears do win the ensuing face-off, and they'll chip it out to the neutral zone to Bird. He tries to make his way up by shorthanded. Gladiators able to wrestle away from him as Jack O'Brien will start things from the deep end. And so this Gladiators power play over this 4-game losing slide, 1 for 16, just a little over 6% as a shot from the left wing, shorthanded by Bird, is blockered away by Semptimphelter. Isley from the left wing pumps it around the horn to the right. Bulmer meets it in the corner, chips it to the trapezoid. 2 Solar Bears are there trying to find a way to whack it out. Gladiators catch up to him, start stabbing at the puck, looking to get possession back. They will chip it to the left point to O'Brien, who whips it to the right wing. Bulmer to the inside for Isley, gives it back to the veteran. Tries to find O'Brien up high, hits a Solar Bear stick, but he is able to keep it alive. From the right point, Sauce is down low. Bulmer to Isley, right circle shot, blocked by his own man, and Cipollone in front, and the Solar Bears will clear. Not a bad look on that last shift on the Eco-Electric power play. On comes the second unit. McNamee, Sylvester, Les, Conroy, and Francis. Francis will charge in on the right side, has some separation. He'll go around the net and center. McNamee will score! Francis to McNamee to the back of the net, and the Gladiators respond on the power play.
What a great zone entry for Atlanta on that power play there. They're able to slingshot Ryan Francis coming into the zone with a lot of speed. He's able to carry this one all the way around the net of Orlando and center it right to Mike McNamee, who's wide open in the slot, who makes no mistake with the one-timer.
McNamee returns after missing the last 3 games, picks up his 7th goal of the year and his 4th power play goal from Ryan Francis, who ends a 10-game scoreless drought with the primary assist on that fantastic zone entry. And the Gladiators get the job done on the Eco-Electric power play to tie the game at 1. So a great response from Atlanta. Right wing shot by Orlando goes over the head of Semptimphelter to the far corner. Gladiators will push it to the near as Denemy lifts it up the ice in hopes of finding Les. Puck hopped over his stick, and Orlando will dump it back in. We'll get a whistle here. I believe the Solar Bears were offside. 9:56 remains in period 1. Both sides with the power play goal. Lucas Savages for Orlando, McNamee for Atlanta. We're tied at 1 when we return.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
1-1 tie at Gas South Arena. Solar Bears struck first. 12:14 left in the first period with a power play goal. Tic-tac-toe passing to the back door to Lucas Savages. Made a 1-0 Orlando, but just about 2 minutes later, Gladiators get to a power play of their own. Francis slingshots into action, goes around the net and centers for Mike McNamee, who has tied the game at 1. Gladiators' goal is McNamee's 7th of the year, assisted by Francis and Conroy at 10:24 left in the first. And that's the Gladiators' first period goal after not scoring one in each of their last 4 games. And so finally that trend comes to an end. And so does the Gladiators slump on the power play. Yoder from the right wing chips it to the trapezoid. Irie is there to meet it. The rookie glances it off the wall. Nolan in the area, unable to keep. As rumbling out to center is Gill for Orlando. Hard around, so hard that it comes back out to the neutral zone. Gladiators in the midst of a change. Make sure to not get caught for too many men. Meanwhile, the Solar Bears try and sneak in on the near side, where Orr is able to pick it away from Rollins, the Tampa Bay Lightning prospect. Possession changes once again at center as Orlando dumps it back in. Gaudette deep in his own territory, chips it off the wall to the right corner for Neely. Solar Bears keep it as they fling it up top. Britt drifting to the left wing, holds for a moment, plugs it deeper to Rollins at the end wall. Active stick by Orr, able to glance it away from him. Now a board battle ensues in the far corner between Bird and Denemy. Bird wins that battle, pass to the high slot for a shot, turned away by Sempton-Felter. Taking it was Harper, who was in the penalty box during the Gladiators' power play goal, and he is forced back out to center as Atlanta is able to clear. Stretch pass, off the mark for Bird. Icing on Orlando. It felt like if that one connected, could have been dangerous. And thankfully for the Gladiators, they get to spend more time in the offensive zone off of that error.
Yeah, it was the right idea by Harper and Bird. Harper with the puck in his own zone. Bird posts up at the far blue line with the Gladiators D-men change and just not able to connect on that one. Now an offensive zone draw for Atlanta.
Near circle face-off. O'Brien will take this against Rollins, and Rollins will win it. Harper up the far wall to the right point. Orzek will keep as they stash it deeper with Isley in pursuit. In the trapezoid, they'll whack it up high. Gaudette to the slot, looking for a tip by Bulmer. Did not get it. The veteran in the far corner wheels it to the near. Back to Gaudette. He'll reverse it to the trapezoid where Britt gets in front of it. Bulmer looking to pick that apart. Gets a stick in there, but Rollins in open space is able to level it out to the neutral zone and a little bit more. Gaudette forced to chase it back in his own end. 7:34 left in the first period. Gladiators were able to direct the puck in deep and get a wholesale change in. Conroy and Less the new D pairing with McNamee, Francis, and Young on the ice as the forward group. Young from the right wing chips it up towards his bench. Drevich able to keep the zone, feeds it to the slot. Just a bit away from Lucas Savages, who takes a check in the near quarter. Beg your pardon, that was Cole Codsey. As now McNamee springs into action along the right wing. They'll knock it into the far corner for Francis. Pulls up looking for reinforcements. Garagach is able to slide it away from him as the Solar Bears make their way out to center. Codsey spins it to the right wing. Gladiators are able to thump it away. Young carries down the left wing and delays to Francis at the point. He'll ladle it to the corner. Young feeling some contact, tries to get a stick in there. Puck will jumble to the far corner. Francis looks to keep it alive, but Orlando does sauce to center. Puck hauled back in by Conroy. He'll float it up the ice. What will be an icing with 6:31 to go in period one.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of miscommunication there between Alex Young and Ryan Conroy. Puck comes to Conroy. Looked like Orlando was going for a change. He was looking for a quick up to Young. Young, who had been out there for a while, was looking to get a change. Goes down as an icing. Face-off in Atlanta zone.
Face-off will be along the near circle. Young will take the draw against Bardero. Or will rainbow it out to the neutral zone. Puck will skip into Orlando ice. Whacking it through center is LaPointe. And so Orr once again down the left wing off the stick of Irie and in as Denemy will chase it to the near corner. Puck does come out to center once more. Luchuk met at the scorer's table by Yoder. Sends Denemy up the ice with some space. Left circle, he will center. Trailer is Nolan for a shot. That goes wide. Denemy with it at the right wing. Jabs it to the point for Yoder. Puck does escape the zone, delayed offside in Atlanta, and they'll just sauce it down and get a wholesale change in. Lucas Savages leaves it for Wilson. He'll pass it to the left wing for Rollins, who shoots off the stick of Orzek and over the goal. Puck will plop down in the near corner. Cipollone has got it. Rips it up the ice and out to the neutral zone as Harper was unable to keep. 5:30 left in period one, all tied up at 1 apiece in Duluth. Shimming his way down the left wing is Rollins. He'll feed it to the right wing for Wilson. Knocked up to the right point as Britt stutters away from Sylvester. Snap shot kicked away by Semptimphelter to the far wing. Solar Bears buzz it to the goal line. We're behind the net. Neely floated up the ice and through center. Chasing after it is Harper as the Gladiators will get a change in forwards. Harper will wait behind Richard and now emerge. So the Bears start their next breakout, looking to hit Garagach with a stretch pass. Didn't quite make its way there. Drevich able to pop a shot on goal after it hit the end wall and carry him towards the slot. Semptimphelter kept it away as Kodzi from the right wing gets caught up to by Bulmer. Able to break away from the contact. They make their way backdoor again. Semptimphelter with 2 saves, but he can't make a third as the Solar Bears are able to punch it in, crashing the crease with 4:29 left in the first. They take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Atlanta not able to make a clean breakout out of their zone there. Little breakdown in coverage. Semptimphelter makes a great first save there, but eventually it comes on the stick of Garagach, and he puts it just under the bar on the backhand to restore Orlando's 1-goal lead.
So Solar Bears now lead 2-1 thanks to the third goal of the season from Dustin Garagach, who is dressing as a forward here today. He is a natural defenseman. Yoder through the neutral zone. Finds Young up ahead. Ladle it to the right wing in hopes of finding Francis, but the Solar Bears shut that down. Now Eddie from the right wing. Just to pick it back up in the trapezoid. Francis leaves it for Orr, and the Gladiators will start their breakout. Orr to the right wing for Young. Delays to Orr. Moves his way to the left wing, gets impeded a bit. And the Solar Bears were able to take the puck away on the near side and just rainbow it over center ice. It'll plop down into the far corner. Gaudette will track it down. Feeling some pressure, turns it over in the trapezoid. And he was the one supplying that heat as an active stick by McNamee. He was able to knock it out to center. Now Gilhart around to the left wing. Met by Orr. They'll fling it out to center, where it's gathered by the Solar Bears once more. 3:22 left in the first. Solar Bears direct it back in. Semptimphelter from the trapezoid leaves it for Orzek. Led on up ahead to Nolan. Up the ice has Irie. Skating down the left wing with some speed. Tries to rip a shot, but it flubbed off his stick. Hanging on to it. Delays to the line for a shot. Save, and the rebound held in at the right point by Denemy. Sauced it deep, picked up by Gill. Up the ice go the Solar Bears as Lapointe is met at the red line. Orzek getting a piece of it. Solar Bears continue to control. They'll plug it down to Semptimphelter, who chips it to Gaudette. And the Gladiators, with fresh blood on, will look to start their next breakout. Denemy directs it in, quickly gathered by Britt. Solar Bears work their way in from the right wing to Wilson. Left for Bird, shot, and a score. That one leaks by Semptimphelter. 3-1 Orlando as Tyler Bird picks up his 15th goal of the year.
Yeah, great zone entry there for Orlando. Right off the change, they're able to force a turnover in the neutral zone. Break it in, make a nice drop pass to Bird. Was able to walk down to the high circle. Rip one, looked like maybe low glove there on Semptimphelter. Feel like that's one that TJ is going to want back. Orlando with the 2-goal lead.
Doesn't happen very often for him, but that shot from the veteran, Tyler Bird, finds its way through. And for TJ Semptimphelter, that's a tough one to stop. That is the 110th goal in the ECHL career of Tyler Bird, who's playing in game number 468 here today. Solar Bears back on the prowl. Another shot by Bird, sent out of play by Semptimphelter with 2:11 on the clock. Gladiators had this game tied at 1, but Orlando's got the latest 2 from Garagach and Bird. They lead 3-1 with 2:11 on the clock when we return.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Watch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
The Orlando Solar Bears lead the Atlanta Gladiators 3-1 with 2:11 left in the first period. Solar Bears have stormed into town and shocked the Gladiators here in period number 1. This is just the 4th time this season that the Gladiators have given up 3 goals. This is actually the first time this season the Gladiators have given up 3 goals in the first period this year, as this Atlanta team reeling in period number 1. Face off to the right of Semptimfelter. Cipollone will take this draw against Drevich. And this building has become quiet, to say the least. Gladiators looking to find a way to reignite this crowd on Fan Appreciation Night. Cody from the left circle puts it to the slot. Gladiators able to sweep it away, but not able to clear the zone. Sylvester comes flying towards Garagach, who is somehow able to keep the zone. Those two did not collide. Now the puck will sputter out to center. Cody just chip it down the left wing. Les will track it down at his own end wall. On his forehand, able to chop it up the ice to Conroy. Rolled back to Les, and with 1:36 left in the opening frame, Gladiators look to get something going here offensively and cut this 2-goal Orlando lead down to 1. Conroy directs it down deep, played by Richard. On the forecheck is Bulmer, trying to hem Orlando in, but the Solar Bears do make their way out to center, developing 3-on-2. Pass across the line, Solar Bears offside. 1:15 on the clock in the opening period.
Yeah, Orlando making it really tough on Atlanta to complete passes in this first period. Feels like they've broken up a number of plays that Atlanta's trying to make. They're doing a really good job of clogging the neutral zone, forcing Atlanta to just dump the puck in, and then Orlando's doing a really good job of retrieving those pucks and getting good breakouts off of them.
And I beg your pardon, this is actually the second time this season the Gladiators have given up 3 goals in a first period this year. The last time was January 9th against Savannah, which the Ghost Pirates came in and shocked the Gladiators with 3 goals to start. Atlanta on the attack. Solar Bears put that to an end as they slide out to center. Bulmer regains possession, finds Yoder right wing, pass to the left off the stick of O'Brien. It'll trickle into the near corner where it's played by Cooper, the rookie defenseman. Tries to chip it up the ice. Bulmer strips it away, makes his way to the slot. Puck sputters in front. Isley forced to the outside. Keep it at the line. Fed across to Yoder, downhill. Bulmer again. On his back end, sets up Yoder for a shot. Saved by LaPointe. In front is O'Brien, but the rookie netminder able to swaddle it up with 32.8 on the clock.
Good ozone work there by the Gladiators. They're able to work it down low. Yoder down to Bulmer. Bulmer draws some Solar Bears to him, which opens up Yoder back up at the point, who gets a nice one-timer on point there, looking for a rebound. But a nice cover by Richard, not giving up any rebounds there.
So the Gladiators will trot out Francis, Young, and McNamee with Gaudette and Orzek as the D pairing. Young will take this face-off for the Gladiators against Anthony Bardero. Young has been a catalyst for the Gladiators this season. Wins that draw. Now Gaudette at the left point, holds, angles it off the end wall towards the slot, swept away by Gill in front. And the Solar Bears will attempt to clear, but are unable to get it out. Puck flubbed off the stick of Bardero. Now on the far side, they will get the job done. As here is Bardero passing right wing to Gill. Back to Bardero in the high slot. Overskates the puck a bit and is sent towards the near wall. Orzek and McNamee in the area, trying to pick the puck free as the clock will run out on the first period with Orlando leading 3-1. After the play, McNamee took a shot, and chaos breaking loose in the neutral zone as the Gladiators take offense to that. And rightfully so. I believe it was LaPointe, the rookie for Orlando, who gave McNamee a shove after the buzzer. And so we'll likely see that carry over into the second period and beyond as we get a good look at it here in-house. Well after the buzzer, it sounded. LaPointe gives McNamee a bit of a cross-check there. Gladiators take offense, sticking up for their teammate, and we'll see if they can bring some of that fire and energy to the second period as the Solar Bears have shocked Atlanta in period one as they lead 3-1 after 20 minutes. Orlando leads the shot count as well, 14-9. Coming up next here at Gas South Arena, the first intermission report. Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau to recap period number one, look ahead to period two, talk about this historic night for Cody Sylvester, and a whole lot more as after one period, it's Orlando 3 and Atlanta 1.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be breaking down everything that happened in that first period. But first, let's check in with our scores. The Orlando Solar Bears 3 with 14 shots on goal, and the Atlanta Gladiators 1 with 9 shots on goal. So not really the outcome the Gladiators were looking for in this first period, Andrew. But hopefully there's still a lot of hockey left to play, so hopefully there will be a little bit of a turnaround here. But can you talk to me about what you saw from the Gladiators this first period?
Yeah, you know, obviously they had a really good power play in that first period, able to score on that power play from Mike McNamee. But other than that, it felt like Orlando really controlled a lot of the play at 5-on-5. They did a really good job of clogging the neutral zone, forcing the Gladiators to dump the puck in. And then Orlando's defense did a really good job of being able to retrieve those pucks and make good breakout passes. And then they were out of their zone and on the attack. So look for the Gladiators to try and get through the neutral zone a little better in that second period and get through their own zone a little better. You know, Orlando did a really good job on the forecheck and forcing turnovers in Atlanta's zone and being able to withhold their offense for a lot of that first period.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about those goals and the specialty teams here, because in the first period, you know, the Gladiators had a penalty kill that was unsuccessful, the Solar Bears having scored their first goal off of that, but then in turn the Gladiators got a power play goal of their own. So I want to talk a little bit about the kind of woes that the Gladiators are facing right now when it comes to their specialty teams, and maybe this is a little bit of momentum for them to kind of turn those around heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, so starting on the penalty kill, it was a tough penalty against Joey Cipollone in that first period. You know, just trying to make a play on the forecheck, trying to force a turnover, got his stick just between the skates of the Orlando player, tripped him up. Gladiators to the kill, but then it was a really good power play by Orlando. Luchuk gives it over to Bardero, who has a lot of space on that right side. He takes that space, skates down to about the top of the circle, and then he finds Jared Lukasevich's wide open on the back door, who makes a perfect shot, one-timer back door to give Orlando the early lead. It was a tough break for the Gladiators, and would have been a really tough save for Semptimfelter. So just a tough break for the Gladiators on that power play for Orlando. And then goes back the other way. Chris Harper for Orlando takes a high stick on Brett Bulmer behind the play, sends Atlanta to the power play. First unit had some pretty good looks, and then the second unit gets out there, and it was just a perfect zone entry by the Gladiators. Ryan Conroy skates up the left side, while Ryan Francis behind the play is really gaining speed coming behind that play. He makes a nice drop pass to Francis, and then Francis does all the work from there. He picks up the puck in the neutral zone. He's able to take it with all his speed, weave his way through a couple of Solar Bears, ends up circling behind the net, and then Mike McNamee being able to find some open quiet ice, right wide open in the slot. Great pass by Francis McNamee with the one-timer out front to tie up the game.
And we've talked about Francis kind of all year with his speed and his shiftiness. So it was good to see him, he missed a game here a couple weeks ago, and it's good to see him get back there and kind of get a point on the board for himself.
Yeah, you just said it with Francis. He's at his best when he's using his speed and shiftiness, and that's exactly what we saw on that first goal. Really gained a lot of speed, curling back on that power play. Nice drop pass to him, and then from there, as you said, pure speed and shiftiness, makes a nice couple of moves, and eventually sets up McNamee for the one-timer goal.
And do you want to talk about the other goals from the Solar Bears we saw this period?
Yeah. It just feels like a couple of breakdowns in coverage for the Gladiators. Couple of turnovers in the neutral zone, in their own zone. That second goal for Orlando, turnover in the Gladiators' own zone. Tyler Drevich ends up with the puck in the middle of the slot. TJ Semptimphelter makes a great first save on him. But then it's Dustin Garagash there, wide open, able to clean up the rebound. A tough break for Semptimphelter. He makes the first save, but unfortunately the rebound goes right to Garagash, who makes no mistake. The defenseman playing forward gives Orlando their 1-goal lead back. And then it was Tyler Bird. Turnover by the Gladiators in the neutral zone allows Orlando to attack with speed, kind of catch the Gladiators a little bit off guard. And it's Wilson makes a really nice drop pass to Bird. Bird with a lot of space skates in. It looks like he just put that one right between the arm of Semptimphelter, right under the glove. It was a tough one for Semptimphelter to give up, and it's one that TJ's going to want back.
And I mean, TJ's been phenomenal all season. I recently was looking at the ECHL packet, and he's 4th in the league for goalies. So, like you said, it's one he's going to want to get back, and hopefully we see more amazing saves from him like we've seen all season in these next couple periods.
Yeah, a little bit of an uncharacteristic first period for Semptimphelter, but as you said, he's been so good for this team all year, and I have no doubt that he's going to work his butt off to try and help his team get back into this one tonight.
And speaking of the team overall, was there any lines that stuck out to you this period and that maybe you are looking forward to seeing continue to play the rest of the game and maybe hopefully generate some good plays?
Yeah, I really like the line of Isley, O'Brien, and Bulmer. It seemed like towards the end of that first period, once Atlanta went down 3-1, those guys really started to go to work. They had a couple of really nice opportunities in the O-zone, some good possession by that line. They did some nice work with the pair of Orr and Yoder on the back end. There was a nice setup there. They were able to go high to low. Bulmer up to Yoder down to Bulmer. Bulmer draws a couple of Solar Bears to him, goes back up top to Yoder, who puts a one-timer on net looking for a rebound. So would like to see more of that from the Gladiators. That high to low work, kind of get Orlando a little bit mixed up in their coverage, in their defensive zone, and try and capitalize on that.
Yeah, and I actually want to ask you, since you mentioned Brett Bulmer, this is the first game you're seeing of him. What do you think so far about his ability to play?
Yeah, it seems like he's sliding in really well on that line with Isley and O'Brien. Isley, obviously, he's been on fire since he's came to Atlanta. A couple of really hot start for him, a couple of really nice goals that he's scored so far. And Jack O'Brien has just been a really nice presence for this team all year since coming in that trade earlier in the season. So Bulmer's looks like he's fitting in with that line. So obviously only his second game with the team. It's going to take him some time to build chemistry with his line mates. And him and Neely, we talked about both guys have to play 5 games to qualify for the playoff roster. So they will both be in the lineup for the rest of the season. So good for those two guys to, get more acclimated with the team. They're now line mates, and for Neely, kind of get to know again some of these guys that he's played with before, and obviously a lot of the new guys that Atlanta has brought in since he left.
What have you been seeing from Neely so far as well?
Yeah, he's a really good skater. He's got a lot of jump to his game. He's really good on the forecheck. Really big body. You can just kind of see he's got a presence about him out there on the ice. Doing a really good job on the forecheck. So obviously he's sliding in on that line tonight with Sylvester and Cipollone. And it seems like that line can do a lot of good work together. 3 similar players. I'll say, it feels like all of them play a really good two-way game. Really smart players, high hockey IQ guys. So 3 guys who I feel like can really feed well off of each other. and hopefully they can get that going in the second.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about what you want to see coming up in the second period from the Gladiators. But before we go, I always ask a little fun question for you and for the YouTube live chat. So tonight is Fan Appreciation Night, so I want to know if there is a favorite moment that you have from the Gladiator season this year. Let us know in the comments, and we will talk about it at the end of the intermission. And once again, it is the Orlando Solar Bears 3 and the Atlanta Gladiators 1 here at Gas South Arena. We will see you after the break.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about what we want to see in the second period, but first let's check in with our scores. Orlando Solar Bears with 14 shots on goal, and the Atlanta Gladiators 1 with 9 shots on goal. Before we headed to the break, I asked everyone on the YouTube live chat a question, since it is Fan Appreciation Night here at Gas South Arena, and that was, what was your favorite memory from this season so far? So let us know in those comments, and we will get to that before we head into the second period. So Andrew, what do you think the Gladiators need to do to kind of get back into this game? Because it is a very serious game. All of these games in this final stretch are, as they're still competing for that home ice advantage against the South Carolina Stingrays.
Yeah, so obviously in this second period, would just like to see the Gladiators just get back to Gladiator hockey. You know, you said it before, it's been a long season. It's been a very fun season watching this team, and we've seen so much success from this team all season, you know, sliding a little bit right now, so would just love to see this team get back to the way that they love to play, and it starts with their forecheck and getting into the offensive zone. Orlando's starting Samuel Richard tonight in net, his first professional start for them. He came in relief a game a couple of weeks ago for Orlando, but this is his first professional start for him. So you got a young goaltender, first start professionally, you got to test him. You know, obviously first game, you might some nerves for a young goaltender in his first professional start, so you want to test him, you want to put more pucks on net. 9 shots on goal in that first period. You'd like to see a lot more from that. Generate a lot of traffic out in front of the net. Try and get him to produce some rebounds, bang home some rebounds, and, you know, just really try and grind this one out.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about Cody Sylvester, since this is his final home game before retiring next season. Now, do you think he's going to be a key asset in these next couple of periods for the team kind of getting back on track here?
Yeah, you know, I think he kind of has to be. You know, he's been the captain of this team all season. He's been a leader for this team for many years before that. You know, he's worn a letter for this team for a long time. So, you know, this is really, it's his team now. And, you know, it feels like we've said it all season long. He's been always, whenever this team's slumping a little bit, it seems like he's the one who's always able to get the guys up, get them back in the battle. So, you know, we've talked about him all season. Just congratulations to Cody on an absolutely awesome career. You know, obviously me and you, Shelby, we've only worked for the team for one season, but even coming into covering this team in training camp, you know, you just felt like Sylvester, he had this bit of aura around him where he's just this complete professional about everything he does. You know, he comes in, he does the work, and he's just been a great leader for this team all season. He's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and before the game started, Guy had me look up some of the stats for the ECHL, and Sylvester's actually 7th in all-time points for active leaders in the ECHL, which is really an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to see, you know, what he's done for the season, and, you know, like you said, even though we were only part of it for a season, it's amazing to kind of see his work ethic and, you know, having 2 kids and still showing up for this team and providing that leadership is truly amazing.
Yeah, as you said, you know, just a complete consummate professional. He's been a lot of fun to watch this season. He's always been able to get his guys in the battle, drag them into the fight. And, hopefully he has one more up his sleeve here tonight for his final regular season home game.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And you know what I'm also looking forward to? Those answers in the YouTube live chat of their favorite memories from this season.
Let's see, what do we got here? J-Bug, one of my favorite moments this season was when Lind started that one fight with the other guy yelling through the penalty boxes. That was a good one. Kalen Lind been up with Milwaukee for a little bit now, but when he was down here in Atlanta, he's a grinder.
Yeah.
He liked to start some stuff. He was a lot of fun to watch down here as well.
I think that reel is still pinned on the Atlanta Gladiators Instagram.
Yeah,
if you're interested in seeing that.
Let's see. And Daniel says, any W. You know what? I like that answer.
That is a good answer.
This team's done a lot of winning this year, and it's been so much fun to watch. For my favorite memory from this season, I guess, I'll throw it all the way back to my first game, the home opener here against, Utah. The Louis Boudon overtime winner on the power play to really cap off the home opener. That one was really fun. And, kind of really introduced me to this iteration of Gladiators hockey, and from that moment on, it felt like we were going to have a pretty good year.
And we talked about it before. We were kind of racking our brains. We're like, okay, let's go back in that highlight reel, and we were talking about Ryan Francis's goal in that overtime win, which was absolutely incredible. So I would have to say that was mine. I think
that was a great one.
Honestly, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I love an overtime, and it's so stressful, but in the best way possible. Watching an overtime or a shootout, it's something about that stress that's just it's just a good kind of adrenaline.
Yeah, I mean, it's different obviously when you're watching it and when you're playing in it, because when you're playing in it, you get a little bit of that adrenaline, but it's just kind of another day in the office for you. When you're watching it, especially when it's your team that you root for, it's just kind of the anxiety's through the roof.
Yeah.
You're biting your fingernails off. But it's a lot of fun, watching in overtime when your team's not in it, and it's just all that open ice and all the creativity that these players have. They really let it shine in those 3-on-3 overtimes.
I also want to bring up Ryan Conroy real quick, because I have to bring up the game where he took the puck to the face, but he still came out
that
in
was
that
a good
third
one
period
too.
to finish that game.
That was a really good one.
I think that's pretty incredible as well. But as you can see, the Gladiators are heading back on the ice here for that second period. So once again, our scores are the Orlando Solar Bears 3 and the Atlanta Gladiators 1. Guy will return and do the play-by-play for the second period alongside Andrew when we come back from the break.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We are set for second period action here at Gas South Arena between the Atlanta Gladiators and the Orlando Solar Bears. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming, joined by Shelby Rabideau as well. First period, not the Gladiators' best to say the least, certainly one that they are happy to put in the rearview mirror as we look ahead to this second period. Second period is brought to you by Freddy's. The final 2 minutes of the second period are known as Freddy's Frozen Minutes, where the Gladiators score a goal in the final 2 minutes of the period. Everyone in attendance will receive one free mini custard at Freddy's on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Gladiators look to do that and a little bit more. Going to cut into this 2-goal Orlando lead. Solar Bears lead 3-1 after 1, and they win the opening draw of period 2 as well. Gladiators able to wrestle away at center, punch it down to Richard. He'll wheel it up the far sideboard where Cipolone presses deeper. Beats it in the far corner, looks to send it to the slot. Puck hits the referee and stays deep in Orlando territory. So the Bears are able to swipe it to the near corner. We're in a vacant area. Luchuk has that space quickly evaporated. Cipolone blasts him with a check. Puts a shot on goal. Save Richard. And he's able to hug that far post to keep it out and get a whistle as well. Andrew, what a start to the second period for Joey Cipolone.
Yeah, I was just going to say, really good start for that line of Cipolone, Neely, and Sylvester. Cipolone with a big hit on the forecheck there, able to force a turnover. And then he's able to get a couple of nice opportunities. Puck gets centered to Sylvester by Neely, who goes back down low to Cipolone, who puts a one-timer on net, grabs his own rebound, tries to stuff in the wraparound, but a nice alert save by Richard.
Gladiators win the ensuing faceoff. Left wing shot. Karam's on goal. Save mate Richard. Puck loose between the circles and dug out by Gill. And he will clear to center where it's met by Bird. He'll find Wilson further down the left wing. Chips it behind the net for Rollins, who is shadowed by Isley. Those two tango into the far half wall. Sent to the line for a shot. Deflection in front. Conroy's got it. Sweeps it up the ice to Bulmer on the near wing. And he will loft it out to center for a Gladiators clear. So far action on both ends of the ice to begin period number 2. Both in the opening minute as O'Brien in the neutral zone chips it in deep. Offside on the Gladiators as Isley touches it. Clock will stop 1:13 into the middle frame. And once again, the Gladiators will get fresh personnel on. On comes Francis, Young, and McNamee, who has the lone Gladiators goal on the power play here today. Watch out for Alex Young as well. 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points in 6 games prior in the season series against Orlando. A season series that the Gladiators have already clinched and won 5 games to 1. And Young having a fantastic year, 59 points in 68 games, as this line looks to press on the forecheck. They force an Orlando turnover in the neutral zone. Got up from the red line, bangs it in off the stick of Mark Cooper, who will handle behind his own net. Just to shimmy it up the near side wall. Francis able to pinch, forces Orlando into the near corner as Revich takes a couple of checks. He'll spit it up the ice. Kodzi takes it to neutral territory. Over the red line, leads it down into the near corner. There to meet it is Carter Allen. So the Bears try and cycle to the far side. Gladiators are able to take it away. Young looking up the ice, starts this Atlanta breakout as he wires a shot on goal for a blocker save by Richard. Rebound goes to Cooper, up the ice, trying to find an open man. That was Garagach, had it clank off his skate. Here is Irie now in front of his own bench. Distributed back down to Richard. Left behind the net for Cooper. Solar Bears turn it over along the far wing. Nolan speeds into it in front of Orlando's bench. Quickly cycles to the right wing, off the wall to Denemy. And it'll go all the way down for an icing. 17:32 on the clock in the second period.
Yeah, Nolan looking up ice for Denemy there. Bit of an errant pass. Misses Denemy, goes down for an icing. Face-off coming down to the left of Semptimfelter.
Solar Bears to this point have 3 goals on 14 shots. Gladiators have 1 on 12. Solar Bears win the ensuing draw. Quickly put a shot on goal. Semptimfelter is able to fight that off. Holding the line is Harper. Gladiators get out to center. Denemy to the right wing for Nolan. He'll take a shot. Save by Richard. And he's able to gobble up the rebound and get a whistle in as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough save for Richard there. Nolan with just a little bit of a floater change-up on net there. Richard with a little trouble handling it, but able to scoop up that rebound just in the nick of time before Irie was able to get there.
The Gladiators trailing by 2 today. If they are able to come back, it would be their 5th multi-goal comeback of the season. Last time the Gladiators came back from down 2, February 24th, in that wild 7-4 victory over the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Gladiators on the attack, win an offensive zone draw. Sylvester held up a bit by Harper as the puck leaks to the far corner. Lucas Savages looking to get it out as it carrying off a stick. And now it's turned over in the neutral zone as Les picks off a pass from Britt. Neely charges down the right wing, looks to center. Puck swept away by Richard. Held in at the line. Sylvester right circle to the slot for Cipolone. Save made by Richard again. And the puck will drift into the near corner. Now Neely takes a high stick to the face. Fans looking for a call. Gladiators looking for a call. and there is none to be found. Solar Bears work their way into Atlanta territory, nearly off to the bench to get some repairs. From the line, Gill holds and shoots. Blocker saves Septemfelter. Rebound to the near wall. Now at the line is LaPointe. Long bid, wide of the mark. Gill from the right corner, scans the interior, ladles it to Lucas Savages. Puts it to the right point for Bardero. He'll clank it off the near corner wall to Luchuk. And he'll end up turning it over to Conroy. Gladiators work their way up the ice, turn it over at center circle. Solar Bears plunge right back in as Bardero sauces it to the trapezoid from the near wall. Conroy collects, ladles it to Les on the near side. Softly pitches it up the ice for Bulmer, who leaves it for Isley. The rookie out of Ohio State University makes his way down the right wing wall. Gets caught up to by Gill. Now blowing a tire behind the net is Rollins. And Isley stays with it. And able to get the puck back. Solar Bears dig it out of his skates. Quickly press up ice. Here is Bird over the red line to chip it into the near corner. Wilson will get there first. Gaudette able to get in front of him. Puck loose on the far side boards, and Isley's got it again. Sends it up the ice for O'Brien. 3-on-1. He will shoot over the cage and wide. Puck jumbles out to center. Hauled in by Bird. Charging down the middle. Scrubbed off the puck. And here come the Gladiators again. Bulmer from the left side. Ladles it to the slot. Tied up was Isley. Couldn't get a shot away. Now it's the Solar Bears' turn. They've got numbers into Atlanta territory. Allen down low to the slot. Wilson tied up by Yoder. Puck leaks to the side of the net where Septemfelter pounces on it exactly 5 minutes into the second period.
Up and down the ice we go in Atlanta. Hot start to this second period. Both teams with some great offensive opportunities. 3-on-1 for the Gladiators. O'Brien grabs a puck on the left side, just misses over the shoulder of Richard. And then Orlando grabs it, goes on an odd man rush the other way. This game's starting to open up a little bit more now, Guy.
That was a fun 5 minutes. I'd like to see the Gladiators get a goal on that, though, but they certainly have continued to stay in this game in terms of generating chances. They haven't sat back at all, which is a good sight to see. Now they'll try and find a way out of their own end. As Yoder will leave it for a Young. He'll escape, passing it to the inside for Orr, who gains the attacking line. Pass to the slot, blocked by Cooper, taken up the ice by Drevich. Met in front of his own bench by Yoder. Now Francis drags it in. From the left wing, feeds it to the right. Young shoots over the head of Richard. Momentum carries the puck to the left point for Francis. Looking downhill, feeds it to the slot. McNamee in front, couldn't tip it home. Richard punches it to the far corner, or it's met by Allen. Gladiators able to hold the line again as Les off the bench tried to spit it deeper. Charging upwards, though, was Garagach as the puck tumbles towards Septemfelter. Gladiators continue to cycle up the ice. As directing in on the far wall is Irie. Behind the net, Richard will leave it as Britt and company work their way up the ice. Quick pass to Eddie, barreling down the left wing. He'll scoot it to the trapezoid, take the return feed and try and stuff it in, but Septemfelter up against the near post, able to make a glove save to keep it out. Gladiators still buzzing despite being down by 2. They're going to cut into this Orlando lead. Solar Bears lead 3-1 with 13:50 left in the second.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Solar Bears 3, Gladiators 1, 13:50 to go in the second period. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming, Shelby Rabideau as well. Andrew, the second period has opened up a bit between these two teams, and it's been entertaining to watch, to say the least.
Yeah, it's been a really fun start to this second. Odd man rushes both ends of the ice here early. No one able to strike, though.
Next face-off will be to the right of TJ Septemfelter. Carson Denemy will take this for the Gladiators. Solar Bears will win it off the stick of Massimo Lombardi. Puck will now jump into the air, and Septemfelter's got that one. And he'll stop the clock with 13:43 left in the middle frame.
Yeah, nice job by Ryan Conroy there, boxing out his man out front, making that save easier for Septemfelter as he could see that one all the way through.
For TJ Septemfelter and these Gladiators, really their success this season has started between the pipes. Septemfelter and Hyder, the first Gladiators goaltender duo in franchise history where each netminder has recorded 20 or more wins in a single season. And it feels like that is going to be their strength heading into the Kelly Cup playoffs, able to rotate between the two like they've done all season long against a team like the Stingrays that might not have that luxury in round number 1. Gladiators are able to punch it down to Richard from the trapezoid. He will leave it for Harper. Irie on the forecheck, looks to create a turnover on the far wall. Gladiators are able to do just that. Puck ping-pongs to Denemy, surging down the left wing. Irie shoots on the cross-ice feed, wide of the net. Solar Bears are able to jam out to center. Kicking it to the left wing is Lombardi for Eddie. He is met by Les. Puck will drift into the corner. Lombardi to the right point, away from Gill, has to trace it out to the neutral zone. Lombardi finds some separation down the right wing, tries to leave it for Lucas Savages. Gladiators get a stick on it. The puck bounces to the near corner. Nolan has Conroy behind the net. He will lead the next charge as Les stretches it up the ice. It'll skip over the stick of Sylvester. Lapointe and the Solar Bears come flying right back in. It is Bardero up high to Gill. His shot wide of the glove of Septemfelter and into the far corner. Gill at the right point now, scoots it to the left. Lapointe to the high slot for a shot. Save made by Septemfelter on Bardero. Solar Bears continue to jam towards the slot. Gladiators able to sweep it away as Denemy lugs it to center. Has Neely up the ice. Neely to the goal. Save made by Richard. Centering pass spat wide by Sylvester. Solar Bears have it out of the near corner. Trying to chip it. Keeping it in is Orzek. Solar Bears are able to volley it off the near wall to center circle. Bardero over the attacking line. Pulls up. Feeds it right circle. Intercepted by Orzek. Gladiators are able to jumble out to the neutral zone. Gilly was able to strip the puck back. Errant pass hits a skate. Sylvester is able to corral it. Finds Neely sprinting down the right wing. Neely to the goal again. He scores! Eric Neely goals in back-to-back games. It's 3-2.
What a great finish there by Neely. He's able to collect that one in the neutral zone. He cut inside to his backhand and slipped that one 5-0 by Richard.
Oh, you could just feel it, Andrew, the way Eric Neely was buzzing on that shift.
Oh, yeah.
Goals in back-to-back games in his return. And it's a one-goal game, and it really feels like the Gladiators have the Solar Bears on their heels.
Yeah, and it was a great net drive there by the defenseman Cam Gaudette, jumping up into the play. He drew 2 Solar Bears defenders with him to the net, able to open up that space for Neely. Great job by Gaudette.
One-goal game in Duluth. Bird behind the Gladiator net, puts it up to the right point. Cooper stutters away to the wall, shadowed nicely by Isley. Solar Bears able to escape that pressure. Get it back to Cooper. Isley meets him again as Cooper makes his way to the trapezoid looking to connect with Rollins. Battle for it in the near corner. Orzek's able to chip it away. Delayed penalty on the Solar Bears as Bulmer carries over the red line. Has Isley left wing. Isley on in. He'll shoot. Save Richard. Puck is loose and it goes wide of the goal mouth. Did not go. It'll end up leaking out of the Solar Bears zone. Yoder will track it down. Behind his zone, that's still a delayed penalty with the net empty. Septemfelter to the bench for the extra attacker. Evan Orr will leave this puck for Alex Young. At center circle, pulls away from Drevich. He'll pass it to the right wing for O'Brien. Gladiators looking to enter the zone. Francis will get that job done, skating down the left wing. Feeds it inside for a shot. Save made by Richard. Gladiators have the rebound as Orr from the line with a blast. Save made. McNamee crashes the crease. Puck is swept to the outside. Gladiators keep possession. Solar Bears trying to get a touch. Gladiators not letting them. Now puck will pinball to Kadzi. And the whistle will blow with 10:04 left in the second. And the Gladiators will have a chance to tie this game on the Eco Electric power play.
What a start to this second period for Atlanta. Great job there with the goalie, pulled on the 6-on-5 delayed penalty to really just work down that Orlando 5 that was stuck out there. They had about a minute and a half of possession after the original penalty was called, and were able to generate some pretty good offensive zone opportunities off of that.
Milo Rowlands in the box, hooking the call on the Orlando forward. Has the Gladiators off to their second power play of the game. They're already 1 for 1 with McNamee scoring. 10:24 left in the first on Atlanta's first power play try. He is out there on this start to their second. Gladiators win the draw. Les from point to point has Conroy. Now McNamee left wing, feeds it to the slot, deflected over the goal by Francis and out of play. 9:53 on the clock.
Nice setup there by Atlanta. They go around the horn to McNamee, who finds Francis in the slot looking for the tip on net. Just misses the net, and that one just chips out of play.
Face off to the right of Richard. Sylvester will take this jaw with Francis to his left, McNamee to his right, Les and Conroy on the blue line. 3 forwards, 2 defensemen here for the Gladiators on this unit. Les at the right point takes it off the victory, takes a shot, blocked in the slot. Solar Bears looking to whack it out, and they will, off the near boards and all the way down to Semptimphelter. Well, there was a quiet hush to this building at the end of the first period. Not anymore. Gladiators on the attack, looking to tie this game. Around the horn to the left corner, Sylvester pulls up. McNamee helps it to the line. Conroy stares down the netminder but doesn't shoot. Returns it to McNamee, left circle, down low to Francis. From below the goal line, puts it up high. McNamee to Conroy, fakes a shot, finds McNamee again. He will shoot, and Richard makes the save.
Yeah, good work by this Gladiators power play unit in the zone. They're able to work it out up top between McNamee and Conroy. They play the high-low game with Francis. Eventually ends up on the stick of McNamee on that left point, looking for a screen or a tip out in front by Sylvester, but a nice job by Richard seeing through that screen and making the save.
Next power play unit comes on. Cipolone, O'Brien, Isley, Bulmer, and Young. Well, the Gladiators go with 5 forwards here on this next unit. Off the face-off, O'Brien, left circle, shoots, save made by Richard. Puck will go behind the net. Sputter back to O'Brien in the far corner. As Cipolone behind the net, he'll help it to the near wing to Bulmer. Scanning the interior, Bulmer instead knocks it to the line for Young. Passing left wing for O'Brien to the slot. Isley rips one towards the goal. Save made by Richard. Puck is loose. Cipolone off balance. Looks to keep it alive. Helping it at the right point is Young. Keeps it in Orlando territory. Now in the near corner it is Bulmer. Centering for Isley. Delayed to the line for Young. Push it down deeper to Bulmer. Right circle. Bulmer across. It's a leg on the way. And the Solar Bears are able to get a stick on it to the near point. And they muscle it out to center. Thanks to the work from Bardero. 20 seconds left on the power plays. They clear her down to Sylvester, or to Semptimphelter. Bulmer over the red line. Now Orlando Blue tries to leave it for Isley, who gets spun off the puck by Harper. Bulmer centers, Cipolone, a shot, save made, puck between the circles, and the Solar Bears clear, and that will do it for the power play. Solar Bears still lead 3-2, but the Gladiators have all the momentum. They lead the shot count 21-17. Yoder up the ice, has Denemy on the fly. Denemy to the goal, centers for a shot. Save made by Richard. Wow! Evan Orr thought he had a wide open net, and it did not go. What a save for the rookie. Crazy stuff here on a Friday night. Solar Bears 3, Gladiators 2, 7:41 left in the second. We're back after this from our local partners.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Zillow Performance and Recovery is the official recovery partner of the Atlanta Gladiators. With cryotherapy, infrared sauna, red light compression, float and oxygen therapy, Zillow helps reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and boost energy. Zillow, train hard, recover smarter, and perform like a gladiator every day. And Andrew, the Gladiators are looking like the Gladiators here in the second period. They've already got one. You know that 2 is a surge. These Gladiators have really dictated the terms here in period number 2.
Yeah, you just said it, Guy. Great second period so far for the Gladiators. They got one. They need another one.
Here is Orr drifting down the left wing. He'll go around the net. He'll pop out in the near corner. Handle it to the line for Neely. Return feed goes by Orr behind the net to Cipolone. He'll reverse it to Orr in the near corner, who helps it back behind the net to Neely. Neely on his forehand, met by Lapointe. Puck drifts towards the corner wall where Neely tries to stay with it. Cipolone in the area as well. He's got it off balance, taking a check from Lombardi. He's able to sputter it to the left point where Orr rips a shot off a leg and wide. Neely in the trapezoid, doing the dirty work again. Tries to stuff it in, and holding the line was Richard. Deep in his crease. Just straddled the goal line to keep that one out. 6:50 left in period number 2. Gladiators only trail by 1. Yoder from the red line. Skips the puck to the far corner. O'Brien has the puck whacked away from him as the Solar Bears skate over center circle. Eddie will plug it into the near corner. Swoop it behind the net by Bardero to the right wing for Cooper. Gladiators able to sweep the puck off of his stick but are unable to exit. Bardero keeps and centers off a skate and wide of the goalmouth. Gaudette out of the near corner, ladles it up ahead in hopes of finding Bulmer. That didn't make its way to the veteran, and instead, it'll be Orlando at center. Isley's able to strip it away, chips it down to the trapezoid. Solar Bears are able to escape once again. Duchuk down the left wing centers. Pass is dropped off for Cooper, who shoots. Semptimphelter's able to fight that off. Gladiators sweep it to center with 5:53 on the clock. It'll be handled by Allen. The Solar Bears will look to break out. They will direct it into Atlanta territory. Les will handle behind his own netminder. They'll leave it off the end wall for Young, who jumps into action. They'll leave it for Les, who skates over center red. He'll blast it off the end wall where Karam's off the backside of the net. Richard will poke it into the near corner where Orlando will handle. Britt tries to skate it out. Ends up plugging it up the ice. Wilson to the right wing for Harper. He'll breeze on in. Pulls up at the half wall. Ladles it lower for Rollins. He'll climb back up that far side wall. Exchange with Harper. Pass to the slot. Swept away by Les. Orlando forced to the outside as Young ties up a Solar Bear in the far corner. That was Wilson. Gladiators were able now to chip it out to neutral ice as Francis has it pulled away by Britt. Otherwise, it would have been home free. Into the final 5 minutes of the second period as Rollins skates over the red line and passes it to the right wing. Return feed off a stick. Solar Bears are forced to slam it off the end wall. Makes its way towards Semptimphelter, who's able to poke check it to the far corner. Denemy is there, able to pull away from the pressure of this Orlando forecheck. Swoop out from behind the net, emerge in the near corner, and on his backhand, float it to neutral ice for Irie. The rookie out of Bemidji State throws it into the far corner and pursue it himself as the Gladiators get a change behind the scenes. Yoder from the neutral zone swings it back into Orlando ice. Here is Irie again, jumping into that forecheck, trying to force a turnover from the Solar Bears. Gladiators do get it in the neutral zone. Nolan tips it in along the left wing where it's handled by Gill. He'll angle it off his own end wall, up the ice to Drevich. From the near side, Yoder will shadow him. looking to force his former teammate into making a turnover. Not going to happen on that play, though, as Kodzi from center circle rips it into the far corner. Puck will go behind Felter, where Kodzi's there to meet it. Solar Bears put it up high as Harper delays at the left point and shoots. Initial shot is blocked. Second, it rolls off a stick, and Nolan will carry it out to center ice. We'll pass it to the right wing. Sylvester decks the Solar Bear. And I believe that's going to be a penalty as Garagach takes a run at the captain, and chaos breaks loose. An all-out brawl and fisticuffs deep in Orlando territory. As everybody's got a dance partner in Duluth. We'll see if any other sentences are added on, but initial indicators, looks like Orlando is off to the power play. We shall see on the other side of the break, as it is Orlando 3 and Atlanta 2 with 3:29 left in the second period.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Solar Bears 3, Gladiators 2. Guy Chiarenza, Andrew Fleming, Shelby Rabideau here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network on Flow Hockey, Peachtree Sports Network, and YouTube. And coming up at the start of the third period, our crew is banded together. We have actually put together an award for the YouTube Commenter of the Year. Don't think that we haven't been looking at the live chat this year. We know, we see you guys. And there is one that has stood out from the rest. We will announce who the Commenter of the Year is at the start of the third period. This vote put together by our team here on Press Row to acknowledge one of our great fans here on Fan Appreciation Night. And it looks like out of all of this, Yoder and Cipollone are in the box for the Gladiators. Garagach in for Orlando. And I thought that Cody Sylvester might find his way in there himself, but it looks like he's actually trying to argue the case of his two teammates. So either way you slice it, though, it looks like Orlando's going to the power play here. As I imagine Yoder and Garagach are going to get matching penalties for roughing, and then the extra one will go to Cipollone, and Orlando will head to the man advantage. Either way, Andrew, we talked about it during the pregame show. Really felt like there was some fireworks that could be brewing between these two teams, especially with the way that the last meeting between these two was. Just very chippy, very physical.
Yep.
Lo and behold, that's exactly what we get here.
Yeah, you know, it was a little bit of almost a nothing play, you know. The Solar Bear comes in to hit Sylvester right there at the whistle. Sylvester shrugs him off a little bit, and then it felt like chaos just ensued. You had Yoder and Orr, the two defensemen for the Gladiators, coming down from their point, trying to get into it. Referees did their best to hold them back, but Yoder ends up in the box alongside Cipollone after that dog pile ensued behind the net of Richard.
So 3:29 left in the second period. And looks like they're still trying to sort this all out. Unfortunately, us here on Press Row are usually the last people to find out what the official sentence is. But what we do know here is it's been a total turnaround for the Gladiators here in the second period. They're outscored 3-1 in the first, outshot 14-9 in the first, and then get to the second period. The Gladiators are on the board with the only goal here in period number 2 off the stick of Eric Neely, and they've outshot the Solar Bears 15-3 here in the second period. It's been night and day for the Gladiators here in the second period, Andrew.
Yeah, great second period for the Gladiators. That second period surge, as you have coined, Guy. Only one on the board now. 2 makes it a surge, but feels like that's brewing here late in this second period. Gladiators feel like they've been all over the Solar Bears in this period.
So how about this? Lombardi goes to the box to join Garagach, and it looks like we're going to 4-on-4 action here in Duluth. Gladiators have sent out 5, although we'll see if they chase one to the bench, unless my math is off and somebody got a double minor. No, it appears it is the Gladiators going to the Eco-Electric power play. Extra sentence tacked on to Lombardi. As I said before, those of us here on Plush Row are the last ones to actually find out what the actual verdict is. Usually you get a hand signal, but with so many penalties happening at the same time, they usually just say, hey, check the box score once it finally updates. So looks like somebody got a double minor there, and the Gladiators are actually on the Eco-Electric power play, which is a good turn of events considering we all thought that they'd be on the penalty kill here. So this is their 3rd chance on the man advantage, 1 for 2 so far. Young to the line for O'Brien. Back to Young, left circle, fakes a shot, finds O'Brien again. Now right circle, Bulmer, back up top to O'Brien. Fed inside to Isley, he will shoot, save Richard. Gladiators crash the crease, but the Solar Bears once again are able to sweep it away and clean up house.
Yeah, with Ciplone in the box here, they got Eric Neely hopping on the ice with this power play unit.
And now Young will pass left wing to O'Brien. Tries to find Isley over the attacking line. Puck hits a stick and skips to Bulmer. He'll cycle around the horn to the left point for Neely. Downhill to O'Brien. Back to the line for Young. Neely left circle. Slows down and shoots. Shot is blocked and is cleared as Young as it skipped over his leg out to neutral ice. 48 seconds left on this power play, as Lucas Savage chases Bulmer deep to his own end wall. Beg your pardon, that was actually Cole Codsey. Gladiators skate through center. We are now into the Freddy's frozen minutes with 30 seconds left on the power play. Bulmer right circle, passes to the line for Francis. They'll sweep it to the left wing for McNamee. Now in the high slot, it is Conroy. Over to Bulmer at the right point. Winds and fires. Save is made. Puck is loose. And Richard keeps it out as McNamee was lurking back door. Solar Bears will clear. Up the ice shorthanded is Bird. Gladiators pick the puck away from him. But it looks like that will do it for the sentence to Lombardi. Les grabs it along the right wing. Leaves it for Francis. Gladiators gain the attacking line. Francis delays. He'll pitch it into the near corner for McNamee. Centering pass. Francis shoots. Score! Francis ties the game at 3 with 1:12 left in period 2.
Again, it's a great zone entry by Ryan Francis. He's able to chip this one down low. That allows Mike McNamee to skate into it in the right corner. And he finds Francis open in the high slot, who rips a booming slap shot right through the 5-hole of Richard, and we're tied.
Ryan Francis is having himself a game. What a shot from 86. And it's a brand new game. And oh, by the way, that's a Freddy's Frozen Minutes goal, our 2nd of the season, 1st at home. Free mini custards for everyone in attendance. And that does it, Andrew. That's not 1 but 2 second period goals for the Gladiators. And it's officially a surge and a brand new game. Solar Bears at the right point. Britt tries to swipe it in deep from the trapezoid. Lucas Savage's centers off a skate to the left wing. Denemy will grab it. Float it to the neutral zone, as Britt's able to keep it away from Irie. 42 left in the second. Britt ladles it into the near corner. Gaudette is going to beat out Lucas Savages to it. Able to chop it to Denemy. Up the ice for Irie. Gladiators lifted to center. Nolan on the run. Gonna win this race. Pulls away and leaves it for Irie. At the left point. Angles it off the end wall. Oars it crashing towards the net. Gets a stick on it. A roll around to the left wing for Irie. Down deep for Nolan. 18 seconds left. Gladiators looking to take the lead at the end of period 2. Harper will gather for the Solar Bears. They'll just wait behind Richard. The Atlanta Gladiators, down 3-1 after 1, have tied this game at 3 after 2. It sets the stage for an exciting third period. The Atlanta Gladiators looking to mount their 5th multi-goal comeback of the season. Coming up next, the second intermission report. Andrew Fleming will be joined by Shelby Rabideau. We're going to break down these exciting first 2 periods here on Fan Appreciation Night. Talk about what the Gladiators need to do to escape this building with a victory. We'll also take a look at what's going on between South Carolina and Florida as the 2nd seed in the division is still up for grabs. And these Atlanta Gladiators have shown in the 2nd period that they want home ice advantage in round number 1. All that coming up on the other side of the break. Atlanta 3, Orlando 3. Atlanta outshooting Orlando 27-17.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Hi, Gladiators fans. Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming as we break down everything that happened in that 2nd period. But let's check in with our scores. We are tied here in Duluth, 3-3. The Gladiators have 27 shots on goal, and the Solar Bears have 17. Now, Andrew, you're a lot better at mental math than me. The Gladiators got 9 shots in the first. So how many shots did they get in the second?
18.
18, let's go. Wow, look at them. That, I think we can call it a 2nd period surge.
Oh, we can
Do you think
definitely
we can?
call it a 2nd period surge. Just a great 2nd period for the Gladiators. Complete turnaround from that 1st period. We talked about in the keys of the game before the game. One of them was dictate the game.
Yes.
The Gladiators certainly dictated that 2nd period.
I love when the keys of the game line up with the game, don't you?
Great callback.
So let's talk about that 2nd period. What were you seeing from the Gladiators in that 2nd compared to the 1st?
Yeah, so I talked about it a little bit in the 1st intermission. Wanted to see the Gladiators get out of their zone and through the neutral zone a little more cleanly, and they really did. It felt like, obviously the Gladiators missing Chad Nychuk tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that in the 1st period where they had a little trouble getting out of their own zone, and Nychuk, as we've seen all season long, he's a great puck mover on that defensive line. But in that 2nd period, it was just wholesale improvement all over. The Gladiators defensemen were doing a really good job getting pucks up, kind of getting by forecheckers. Their forwards did a really good job of being able to chip pucks out or make clean passes out of the zone. And then they were really doing a good job of using their speed to get through the neutral zone. 2 guys who I really noticed were Neely and Francis. Obviously, both had goals in that 2nd period, but it felt like both of those guys were really using their legs to their advantage.
Yeah, and let's break down those goals. Let's start with Eric Neely's goal. This is his 2nd goal. He actually had a goal on Tuesday night's game, so back-to-back goals for him. So also assisted by our captain, Cody Sylvester. So break that goal down for me.
Yeah, you had to think Sylvester was going to find his way somewhere on this score sheet in his last regular season home game. So good for him getting that assist on the Neely goal. But it's a really great individual effort by Neely. Sylvester gets it up to him in the neutral zone, and Neely, recognizing where he has open ice, it's a great net drive by Cam Gaudette, the defenseman. He finds himself joining the rush, and he just barrels his way straight to the net. Not necessarily looking for a pass, but what he does there is he drags both the Solar Bears defensemen with him, pushes them back, opens up that middle lane for Neely, who's able to cut inside and put that backhand 5-hole. So it's a great job recognizing of Cam Gaudette that he's up there with Neely. He's just going to skate his way through that net, take 2 guys with him, open up space for Neely, and Neely with a great backhand going 5-hole.
And we talked about the keys of the game. It wasn't one tonight, but communication has been one that head coach Matt Ginn has always coined as a key to the game, and that I think is very important to the Gladiators game. When they have good communication and good chemistry, they're able to produce goals, they're able to produce good plays, and like you mentioned in that goal with Cam Gaudette, factoring in, that's exactly what you were talking about, is that communication.
Yeah, you know, Gaudette, obviously he doesn't find his way on the score sheet for that goal, but that goal doesn't happen without him on the net drive there, so just great recognition. Great hockey IQ by the defenseman for the Gladiators. Open up that space for Neely.
Yeah, and you want to talk about that goal from Francis, his 7th of the season, to tie up this game here.
Yeah, so we talked about on the first goal in the power play, it all started with the zone entry from Francis that springs that goal that McNamee ended up scoring on the power play in the first period. This goal, very similar. Les breaking out of the zone, gives it up to Francis, and Francis, using his body, he actually skated into the zone backwards on this play. Did a really good job of protecting the puck to the outside from the Solar Bears defenseman. Eventually, he's able to rim it down low where Mike McNamee's coming around the net on the other side. He picks that puck up in stride. And then Francis, we talk about so much with these Gladiators forwards, they do a really good job of finding quiet ice, open areas in the offensive zone, and that's exactly what Francis did. He posts up about the top of the circle. Great pass by McNamee. And Francis, with all the time in the world, maybe a little more time than he thought he had, he's able to wind up and rip a slap shot, and it finds its way 5-hole through Richard. So that's 2 5-hole goals for the Gladiators in that period. Might be something that they look to exploit. If they can get Richard moving, open up his 5-hole, seems like that's something that they're targeting here tonight.
And do you think the way that the Gladiators have tied up this game is this momentum from Francis's goal late into that third period? Do you think it's going to factor in for this third period here?
Yeah, I really hope it has to. Obviously, the Gladiators out shooting Orlando 18-3 in that second period is just absolutely huge. You got to think that they'll kind of carry this momentum with them into this third period and hopefully skate out of here with 2 points.
Yeah, and I see that you did open up those scores for the ECHL there, because if you didn't know, we're still fighting for that home ice advantage against the South Carolina Stingrays. So how are they doing in their game tonight?
Yep, so you just said it, Shelby. Coming into this game, the Gladiators with 88 points and South Carolina with 90. So Atlanta 2 points behind South Carolina. Obviously, we've known for a while, it seems like Atlanta will play South Carolina in this first round, and that is all but confirmed that we will face off against South Carolina. And now it's just figuring out who's going to have home ice. Obviously, second place in the division will have home ice. Third place will not, and will do more travel. So in the second period of that game, the Florida Everblades have a 2-1 lead on South Carolina. So if all scores hold even and Florida wins and Atlanta wins tonight, the Gladiators and South Carolina would be tied in points, and it's going to be a fun race to the finish. So really big points here tonight for Atlanta. Great comeback in that second period, and they got to really hope that they can finish it off in the third and that Florida can hold strong against South Carolina and tie them up in points with South Carolina.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about more of what we want to see the Gladiators do in that third period to secure this win when we come back. But first, I have one more question for you and the YouTube live chat. It is Fan Appreciation Night here at Gas South Arena. So I want to ask you kind of a two-type question.
Okay.
So let us know if you had a favorite theme night or if there is a theme night you want to see next season. Yeah.
Great.
All right. I'll give you all a couple minutes to think about that. Once again, before we head to the break, it is tied here in Duluth, 3-3, and we will see you after the break.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
All right, fans, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking about what we want to see in that third period. But first, it is a tied game here in Duluth. The Gladiators with 27 shots on goal and the Solar Bears with 17. Before we headed to that break, I asked everyone a question because it is Fan Appreciation Night here at Gas South Arena. And that is, what was your favorite theme night of this season and what kind of theme you want to see if you want to see a new one next season? So let y'all think about that. But first, Andrew, what do you want to see in this third period so the Gladiators can secure this win and hopefully take over second place in that South Division?
Yeah, so I talked about a little bit in the first intermission that I wanted them to test Richard, and they really did that in that second period, obviously putting 18 shots on goal and scoring 2 goals. Seems like they've almost cracked him a little bit. So in this third period, keep on testing him, really just kind of build on what you did in that second period. They got out of their zone a lot cleaner than they did in the first. It felt like they had a little more fight in them in that second period. We saw obviously ended up leading to them having a power play after a dog pile behind the net of Richard. But just keep pushing. Had a feeling that in his last regular season home game, Cody Sylvester was going to get his boys back in the fight. And he really did in that second period, obviously getting the assist on the Neely goal. And it really started from the jump in that second period. Obviously, first shift of that period, it was Cipollone, Neely, and Sylvester. And they came out and they set the tone for that second period. They had a great shift to start, great 2-3 shifts to start that period for that line. Felt like they spent a lot of time in that offensive zone. And, it kind of felt like it got everyone else going, where they were able to pressure Orlando. And then the rest of the lines were like, all right, come on, we got to go. These guys are doing it. We got to pick ourselves up. So it started with that Sylvester line early in the second period. And it kind of seems like that just injected its way throughout the rest of the team in that second period. So in this third, really just building on what they did in that second period. I feel like that's probably one of the best periods that the Gladiators have played all season long. I mean, feel like we say this a lot with just how good that this team has been this season, but out-shooting their opponent 18-3 and scoring 2 goals, that's a pretty good period for a team. So in this third period, just kind of looking for more of the same from that second period.
And I heard you and Guy talking about it during that second period. They're playing like the Gladiators we know and we love. And even though we had a couple of power plays there, we didn't generate, a goal from those, but there was still a lot of good setups for plays there. And I kind of wanted to see what your thoughts were on the power play in that second period, because what I saw was that they did a good job of staying in their zone and being very good offensively, even though they couldn't generate goals on that power play.
Yeah, you just said it. I thought they generated a lot of good momentum on the power plays that they have had. Obviously, they scored on the power play in the first period, but a little bit of different line combinations with Nychuk out currently and Walter out currently on this power play. We saw it the first unit going with 5 forwards. O'Brien, Young, Bulmer, Cipollone. So those guys really, it's a different look for them on the power play. And Isley, excuse me, sorry, I forgot the 5th guy. But different look for those guys with 5 forwards out there, maybe not used to playing with each other on the power play that much. And, it seems like it's really working for these guys. When your power play gets in a little bit of a slump, as the Gladiators' power play has been a little bit here recently, you try and change up the lines a little bit. And it seems like Coach Ginn has really found a couple of combinations that work. And even that second unit with Sylvester, McNamee, Francis, Les, and Conroy, they scored that goal in the first period, generate a lot of good opportunities on the power play. So seems like the Gladiators are finding their special teams at a really good point in the season, because I talked about a little bit earlier with Guy, this point in the year, you really need your special teams to be going, because in the playoffs, you're going to have a lot tighter games, going to be a lot tighter checking. You're not going to get as many opportunities on the power plays. Usually in the playoffs, referees like to let them play a little bit more. They let some more things go, so you don't get as many opportunities on the power play. So you really have to make it worth your while when you are on the power play in the playoffs. So getting these power plays going at this point in the year is absolutely huge for the Gladiators.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, since this is our last home game before the playoffs, is there anything that you think the Gladiators can capitalize when it comes to their playoff run this year?
Yeah, obviously it would be great if they could get home ice in that first round, because we've seen it all season. We get great crowds here at Gas South, and we've heard from the players that they really feed off the energy of the crowd. So if they can obviously finish off this win tonight, hope for a Florida win over South Carolina, and find themselves getting home ice in the first round, I think would be absolutely huge for this team. You know, you want to play more games on home ice in the playoffs, and if they are able to get home ice in the playoffs, feed off this energy from these fans, I think it's going to bode very well for this team in the playoffs.
All right, and then I asked about that theme night. Do you have a favorite theme night, Andrew?
You know what? We've had so many great ones all year. You know, I'm trying to rack my brain and really think about what was a great one. Golf night the other week. That was fun.
Love golf night.
I'm not picking that as my favorite one, but that was a really good one. Obviously, Heritage Weekend with Thrashers Night and Knights
Thrashers
Night.
was amazing.
Those were so awesome.
I personally loved the book nights, but that's because I'm a big reader.
Those were good ones, yeah. I mean, all the specialty jerseys that the Gladiators have had this year have been so cool. Obviously, they've played very well in those specialty jerseys all season long. But you know what? I feel like it's probably a bit of a cliche answer, but I'm going to have to go with Thrashers Night.
And you know what? I agree. I think that was one of the best nights we've had.
It was absolutely awesome. I mean, this place was absolutely packed. The Gladiators donning those old school Thrashers jerseys. It was just so much fun to be here and be in that atmosphere. And, you know, talked about a little bit on that night just how much love people in this area have for Thrashers and hockey in this area. It was just really great to see. And even tonight, last home game of the season, we got a great crowd here tonight. But it's great to see everyone come out and support this team.
Yeah. Do you have a theme that you wish we would do, or
that's
no thoughts?
Really good. Do you have one?
No, actually I don't.
Yeah, you know,
I think I'm speechless when it comes to that.
I
have to ponder a bit more.
We had a lot of different themes this season. I will say that the school day games were fun.
Yeah, those were great.
Early morning, not necessarily a theme night, but kind of a themed game when we had all the school kids in here, you know, educating them more on hockey, which I think is super, super awesome for building hockey in the South, getting all these school kids in here and maybe introducing them to hockey, which maybe they had never seen before.
Yeah.
So I think that those school games were absolutely great. Those were a lot of fun. It was so loud in here for those games, but those were a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, let's see what the chat has to say about their favorite theme nights.
Let's see. Seeing a lot of Thrashers Night. I think a lot of people like the Thrashers Night. Yeah, seeing a lot of Thrashers Night in these ones. Oh, Dia de los Muertos, that was a good one. That was a fun night, too, earlier in the season.
Oh,
Those were some cool jerseys. Those were some really nice jerseys earlier in the season. J-Bug, I would love to see a Ren Fair / Fantasy Night. I also want to see some art nights and maybe another Scooby-Doo night.
You know what? I've seen the Scooby-Doo jerseys, and I think they're really cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool. But even the Ren Fair, that would be very cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, we kind of had a little bit of that with Knights Night, where they kind of played into the Knights theme a little bit, too.
Yes. Yeah. I think the Ren Fair just opened up, too.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, it looks like the Gladiators are heading back onto the ice here. Once again, it is tied as they head into that third period. And Guy will join Andrew and do a play-by-play of that third period when we come back.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
What a game this has been. Tied 3-3 after 2 periods of play. Gladiators and the Solar Bears here on Fan Appreciation Night. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau as well. We'd like to take a moment to honor our great fans on our YouTube live chat who've been here all season long. Commenter of the Year, it's time to crown the victor. And Andrew, we have put a lot of thought into this, and there were so many good names to choose from. I mean, we could go on and on about the honorable mentions, but one has stood out amongst the rest. Consistent. Early, punctual as always. Would you like to do the honors? as our commentator of the year. Who is it?
Mr. Justin Burke.
Congratulations, Justin Burke. I mean, it doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, 6 in the morning, commenting on the feed. We see you, buddy. We see you. Commenter of the year. Thank you to everybody who has joined in our YouTube live feed so far this season. It's been a treat. It's been so much fun. Really the highlight of our night some nights. Thank you, everybody, for a great season. And we are set for the third period. The Gladiators dumped the puck in deep. Coming off a second period in which they scored 2 goals, 23rd time this season. The Gladiators have had a multi-goal second period. That is far and away the best figure out of any period so far this season. And now, Andrew, they'll look to cap it off with a big third period here against an Orlando team who's really struggled in third periods. Orlando outscored 83-56 in third periods this year, their worst period this season. Face off to the left of Richard. Cipollone to take this against Bardero. And he has won it. Long shot by Conroy. Pinballs wide of Richard. Solar Bears in a hurry. Just thump it down the ice. No icing, though, as Les will go back to retrieve. Conroy now left wing up the ice for Cipollone. Over the attacking line. Delays to Sylvester. Able to soccer it to his stick. Thread it downhill to Neely. Pinned up along the near side half wall. Puck leaks free. Sylvester will shoot up and over the cage. Puck stays in play. Les will find Cipollone behind the net. Puck will glance off his stick, and the Solar Bears once again float to center, and Les will track it down. This will end up being an icing 50 seconds in. Thought Les might have hit that with his stick, but I guess he did not. Gladiators get a bit of a break there. It's going to be an offensive zone face-off here at the top of period 3.
Yeah, guy, just to touch on commentator of the year once more. Congratulations to Justin. Really leads the chat for us, I feel like.
Yeah, sometimes he does.
First one in, last one out. Really good job. He's so friendly to everyone else in the chat, always saying hello to everybody. So great work by Justin this year, just the pure dedication. Love to see it.
And as we said before, this was not an easy decision. We've been pondering this for weeks.
Yep.
There are many, many commenters in our YouTube live chat who have not only helped foster engagement and bring these games to life sometimes, but as we mentioned before, Justin Burke early, first man in, last man out. Always supplying the boom for the Gladiators and our fans, even on some of the roughest of nights. So he is your commenter of the year. Gladiators trying to work their magic here and take their first lead of the game. Isley from the left wing drops it into the corner for O'Brien. On his forehand, ladles it to the line. Got it to the right wing. Orzek, a blast wide of the mark. Momentum sends that puck out to the neutral zone and a little bit more. Gaudette is going to have to skate all the way down to retrieve. 3 Solar Bears lurking on this forecheck. They create a turnover. Centering feed from Wilson. Intercepted by Young. He'll work it up the ice to Gaudette. From the red line, ladles it ahead to McNamee. From the left circle, pass across. Just wide of Francis. Young will shoot. Steered away by Richard. Loose puck behind the net, sent to the near wall. Or activates, pinching to keep this play in. Pinned up against the boards, no problem. McNamee is able to drift free. Les right wing holds and looks to center. Broken up by Wilson, and the Solar Bears will hang on to this puck and get a couple of fresh bodies on. Puck in the trapezoid, handled by the Solar Bears. Cooper distributes to the left wing for Drevich. Former Gladiator over the red line and into Atlanta territory. Off the wall, chip and chase, drags it to the slot. Looks to center for Kodzi. Gladiators able to take the puck away. They'll thread it to the neutral zone. Get off for a change. Handled by Britt. Quick give and go up ahead. Goes astray. Intercepted by Irie. Goes right down the middle. Meets a pack of Solar Bears. Puck stays in the zone. Nolan drifts to the left wing, pulls up at the point, passes across. Orzek hangs on, ladles it down low. Denemy turns and whiffs on a shot. He'll hang on to the right wing half wall, throws it towards the net, off the stick and wide. Harper got in front of it. He'll carry along the near wing. He'll bounce to center circle and volley it into Gladiator ice. Orlando gets a change in on the back end as Lombardi from the left wing ends up turning it over. Nolan was able to make him cough up that puck as now Orzek skates over the red line and rips it into Solar Bear ice. Richard from the trapezoid spins it to the near corner. Out in the neutral zone, it is Eddie. Dealing it to the left wing, and that pass had way too much mustard on it. Icing on Orlando. We'll see a face-off near Richard with 16:29 on the clock in the third.
Yeah, with the wide open second period we had, seems like both teams are trying to get back to a little bit more of their defensive structure early in this third period.
So we'll see a face-off on the far circle. Cipollone will take this face-off against Lombardi. And an interesting footnote in this game, the Neely goal, Gladiators' second of the game, was Neely from Sylvester. How fitting on a night like this. Cody Sylvester's final regular season home game, and it's the primary tally on Eric Neely's second goal of the year. Sylvester off the draw, turns and shoots himself. Glove save made by Richard. Keeps it off the board. As looks like for a moment, Mike McNamee had left the game for the Gladiators, went down the tunnel. He sits back out onto the ice. Does a quick little skate back onto the bench. We'll keep an eye on his condition as the game goes on. He is returning from a 3-game absence, his first game back here tonight, and he does already have a goal and an assist. Meanwhile, face-off to the left of Richard. Gladiators pressing after the Solar Bears win it. Gill able to escape out to center. And a little bit more. Has a man left wing in Luchuk. He'll kick it down to the end wall. Conroy on his backhand. Tries to chip it up to the near corner. Sylvester now rips it cross ice. Pass away from Neely. Solar Bears come plunging right back in. And Neely and the point end up converging on each other a bit. Give each other a shove as Neely heads off to the bench. Meanwhile, Conroy up the wall on the near side to Sylvester. Cross ice to Bulmer. He shoots and it's robbed at the goal line. Lucas Savages with the save for Orlando. Bulmer behind the net. Looks to center. Sylvester is there. Shot pinballs off a stick and goes wide. Oh, Brett Bulmer so close to scoring his first goal in Gladiator blue and gold. Lucas Savages saw that puck trickling towards the goal line and was able to sweep it free. Solar Bears now deep in Atlanta ice. Rollins tries to wrap it in, but Septemfelter hugs the far post to keep that puck out. Now the Gladiators will lift it the length of the ice. That will be an icing with 4:50 gone by in the third.
Yeah, it was a great cross-ice pass entering the zone there. That sprung Bulmer on that 1-0 with Richard. It was a good shot by Bulmer. Just squeaked through Richard. But Lucas Savages on the back check, able to scrape that one off the goal line to keep this game tied.
Face off to the right of Septemfelter now off the icing. It'll be O'Brien to take this draw against Rollins. Rollins does visit. Bird has it turned over at the line. Surging ahead is Isley, but Bird's able to get it back. Softly rolls it down to the Gladiator end wall where it's played by Septemfelter. Up the near boards. Bulmer gets a whack on it. Puck goes behind the netminder once again as Orr moves it up the ice to number 14 at the red line. Bulmer carries in. He will hold down low. Isley, he'll shoot short side. And clutching and grabbing it is Richard to make the save.
Another really great zone entry. Stretch pass up the ice to Bulmer, who's able to enter the zone. Isley crosses the blue line with a lot of speed and posts himself up down low. Bulmer cuts to the inside, makes a nice pass to Isley down low from a sharp angle. Didn't have a lot of work with there. Richard did a really good job of cutting off the angle, and he makes a good save on Isley right out in front.
So after outshooting the Solar Bears 18-3 in the second period, the Gladiators are right back to business. So far, they've outshot them 4-1 here in the third. Grand total 31 for Atlanta, 17 for Orlando. As McNamee tries a short side try, that would not go. Now behind the net, it is Francis making his way to the near corner. Gets pinned up there by Cooper. Digging at it is McNamee. Gladiators looking to keep this puck here, and they do. At the left point, it's Young, turning and shooting. Shot gets blocked. Conroy keeps the zone. Chip and chase to the near corner. Met there by Allen. Francis in the vicinity to help out. Kicks it to the trapezoid and gives it off to Young. From low to high they go. At the left point, it's Conroy. He will shoot. Save Richard. No rebound. 14:07 left in the third.
Yeah, nice job by the Gladiators there. They're able to work high to low. D pass to Conroy with Francis and Young out front in front of that net, trying to get a tip or a rebound in on Richard. But nice job by Richard and the defenseman in front of him, boxing out. And Richard's able to see that one all the way through, make a nice save on Conroy from the point.
Gladiators will send out Nolan, Denemy, and Irie. Conroy and Les remain on the blue line. The near circle face-off to the right of Richard. Denemy wins it against Bardero. Nolan pivots and shoots, and it's another save for Richard as Irie was trying to get a tip in front. Bit of a flyby. Get another face-off here.
Yeah, I talked about after the first intermission with Shelby. Wanted to see the Gladiators try and test Richard a little bit more, and they really did in that second period. It feels like they're back to it in the third. They're putting shots on him from every angle.
Denemy's won another. Conroy at the left point feeds it to the right. Les will shoot off the end wall to Denemy behind the cage. Irie now from the right wing scans the interior, tries to pass it across the line, but it's intercepted, and up the ice goes Luchuk. Irie takes him down along the near side boards. Puck will drift into the near corner. Solar Bears imminent hauling for a penalty, but they're not going to get it. Denemy off the corner wall to Conroy behind the cage. He will lead this next Gladiators breakout with 13:27 left in the third. Irie left wing, toe drag shot. Shot is blocked. Rebound will pinball to the far wall and is cleared by Luchuk. Solar Bears at center, looking to plot their next move. They'll dump it in as Lombardi throws it down to Semptimfelter. Goaltender leaves it in the trapezoid for Orzek. He'll fling it left wing to Gaudette. Stretch pass up the ice, off the mark. It's an icing. 7 minutes in. So we'll see a face-off to the left of TJ Semptimfelter here. Or perhaps is right. It was Cipollone, Neely, and Sylvester back out onto the ice. Gladiators win that draw. Gaudette to Sylvester, up the near wall and down the middle. Wanted Cipollone at center circle. He's got him. Cipollone bounces to the right wing for a shot. Blocked by Harper. Solar Bears take the rebound on the fly. 3-on-3 up the ice. Gladiators foil their plans on the attack, stuffing them at the line. Bird grabs a loose puck at center circle, comes charging down the left wing. He'll throw it off the end wall where it's grabbed by Gaudette. Up the ice to the near wall for Cipollone. Cross ice to Orzek in front of his own bench. Skates over the red line. Feathers it to the left wing. Cipollone will handle. Pass inside for a shot. Sylvester's stick breaks. The wood unkind, and the captain will skate to the bench. Meanwhile, Neely off the steal, gives it to Cipollone right wing. He gets decked. Now the fans are calling for a penalty, but looks like anything goes here. Solar Bears 1-1, they didn't get it. Gladiators 1-1, they didn't get it either. Or down the middle, from the left wing, he gets hooked, and that will draw one. Now we got chaos. Isley's without his bucket. Jawing at it with Drevich. Meanwhile, there was a skirmish between the benches at the red line, and there's a lot to dissect here. 11:57 left in the third period, and gonna have to make something out of this. But good news is you've got some time to do it. We're off to a break. 3-3 tie. 11:57 left in the third.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon. 4 miles from Gas South.
11:57 left in the third period. We have some penalties to be awarded here off the latest sequence that saw a scrum in the near corner over to our left and another one between the benches right at the same time. So we'll make something out of this, but right now it looks like Isley and Neely are in the box for the Gladiators, and Bird is the lone Solar Bear in the box. So if that's any indicator here, looks like Orlando might be going to the power play, but we'll have to wait on that because the last time we assumed such, it's actually the Gladiators going on the power play. But we will once again reiterate that those of us here on Press Row are usually the last people to be informed as to what these calls actually are, especially if there's a laundry list of them on plays like this. And so we will keep a keen eye to see what they come up with here. Nothing on the board yet, but it looks like we're about to find out as our referees relay that information to those at the scorer's table.
Yeah, Guy, you said it. We had two scrums going on at once. It was Neely and Cipollone over by the Gladiators bench, I believe, going at it with Bird, as the Gladiators didn't like to hit on Cipollone in the corner. And then in the corner behind the net of Orlando, he had a skirmish with Isley back there where he got his helmet popped off.
Yep.
Looked like if the play continued or got tripped up or hooked up, could have been a power play for the Gladiators there off that one, but doesn't look like it.
Well, and I think in this game, Andrew, I think there's a couple calls that could have been made earlier in the period for both sides. They let it go, and I think as a result of that, the pot kind of boils over here, and these two teams who clearly don't like each other, and especially in the final meeting, it's speak now or forever hold your peace. And so, as a result, you get plays like that. Although it looks like this face-off is going to be in the Gladiator zone. With Atlanta sending 4 on the ice and Orlando sending 5. Looks like the Solar Bears are going to head to the power play here. No time on the board yet. And looks like the extra penalty is going to go to Isley. So 2 in the box for the Gladiators. Neely and Isley. 1 in the box for Orlando. That is Bird. Orlando to the power play. Gladiators to the Beaver Toyota Mazda. Penalty kill. Orlando looking to take the lead. At the right point, it is Britt. Pass is picked off by Cipollone. He'll turn up by shorthanded. Weaves his way to the right wing and not much more. Puck is taken away upon entry. Luchuk will handle. Left for Britt. He will wait behind Richard as Orlando looks to break out. They cough it up again. Cipollone is there, and the whistle blows. With 11:32 in the third. And it looks like Zach Fennell, the Gladiators' assistant coach, is off to the locker room. And so Zach Fennell has appeared to be given the boot.
Yeah, Gladiators coaches really didn't like the calls that went against them there. Coach Ginn was having a discussion with the referees for a couple of minutes in front of Atlanta's bench, but as those calls were being made, and seems like Coach Fennell might have been saying something to the referees as the play was going on.
Well, Zach Fennell's night is over, and we'll have to watch this one with the rest of us away from the bench. And so, not quite sure what was said down there, but sure you can make an educated guess. Gladiators still on the penalty kill, and they're actually quite lucky that there wasn't a bench minor awarded there. Sometimes, at the referee's discretion, they can issue a penalty. They don't, and so it's still a 5-on-4 Orlando power play for the next minute 25. Down the middle is Bardero. He'll brush it to the right wing for Lucas Savages. Already with a goal here today. Makes his way into the near corner and centers for Rollins. Tried to tuck it in, but the left pad of Septenfelter robs him on the doorstep.
What a save by Septenfelter. That puck gets centered to Rollins on his forehand. He tries to make a quick cut to his backhand. Septenfelter stretching all the way out. Is able to stop that one with the pad and cover.
A showstopper of a save from TJ Septenfelter keeps it a tie game with Milo Rollins, 1-on-1 with the rookie netminder. Unbelievable. And we saw Richard make a dandy of a save in that same crease back in the second period. Septenfelter saw that and said, hey, I'll do you one better. Britt at the right point feeds it to the left. Luchuk to the inside for Rollins. Puck rolls off his stick to the end wall. Gladiators get a couple jabs on it. Puck spurts to the left wing where Luchuk waits. Played to the line. Gladiators get a stick on it. It'll sneak its way into the near corner. Bardero grabs possession. Throws it up top to Britt. Long shot off a stick and wide. Lucas Savages hauls it in the far corner. Gaudette will shadow. Shoulder Bears continue to cycle. Out to the outside. Britt at the right point. To Bardero along the wall. Back to Britt. Scans the ice. Finds Bardero again for a shot. Blocked by Ord. Snapped his stick in half. Can't get a new one for now. O'Brien will give his to the defenseman as down low, or with a new twig will intercept and clear.
What a heads-up play by O'Brien there. He gives his stick to Orr, and then Orr breaks up that play by Orlando and gets the clear.
What a play. Those two have since head off. Nolan, Les, Conroy, and Young on the 4 for Atlanta here, looking to finish off the kill. 8 seconds left on the penalty to Isley. Puck at the left point. Solar Bears have it. They'll try and punch it in deep. Hits a body. Rolls back to Kadzi. He's able to keep the line. Isley is out. Back to full strength. Wilson, right wing, turns and shoots. Semterfelter stops it. Puck is loose between the circles. And he's able to vacuum it up with 9:48 to play. This has been some sort of game. And the best news of all is there's still plenty more to come. Gladiators 3, Solar Bears 3, 9:48 left in the third. We're back after this.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
3-all in Duluth. 9:48 to play in the third period. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. Shelby Rabideau as well. This has been some sort of treat here tonight at Gas South Arena. It didn't look like it was going to be that way. At the end of the first period, Orlando led 3-1, but a second period surge for the Gladiators with goals from Neely, and Francis has made it a 3-3 tie here in the third. No goals so far in the final frame. Gladiators' last game did go past regulation. 3-2 loss in overtime against Savannah. And at this point, the Gladiators could use any point they can get. McNamee barreling down the right wing, catches up to the puck in the corner. Left for Francis. He will hold, tries to sneak his way to the inside, but Solar Bears were able to take that puck away and just lob it into Atlanta territory. Les checks over his shoulder, sees Kadzi incoming. Able to relay it to the left wing as McNamee has some contact. Knee on knee, it seemed, with Cooper at his own blue line. Thankfully, McNamee back up to his feet, but Gladiators want to call there, and they didn't get one. Puck available at center. Francis tries to strip it away from Allen, and it looks like the Gladiators are offside in a board battle that occurred right at the blue line.
Yeah, McNamee talking to the referee. He did not like that hit that he took in the neutral zone there, trying to chip that puck out of play, try to cut inside on the D-man, and ends up going knee on knee with him. Dangerous play. Luckily, McNamee's all right, but he's not too happy about it.
No, that was definitely knee on knee there. And we've definitely seen that call made in the past, but not tonight, it seems. Orlando sends a floater to the near side boards. Rollins able to reel it in. Gladiators take it away. Isley feeds it to the right wing for Bulmer. Up the ice, sends it towards the goal. Swept around by Gill. Turned over in the high slot. O'Brien feathers it to the right wing, just out of the reach of Bulmer. Gladiators take it away again. They'll center O'Brien. A shot. Blocker save by Richard. He'll direct it to the near wall. Now at the left point, it's Gaudette. Downhill around the horn. O'Brien's got it in the far corner. checked by LaPointe. O'Brien pinned up against the wall, trying to hang on. Isley in the area as well. Orlando gets a piece of it as Rollins picks it free. O'Brien back to digging. Gets it back for a moment. Spits it to the left wing for Gaudette. Slides it into the corner for Isley. He gets checked hard along the edge. Gets back up to his feet. Continues to probe for it. Sends it down low for Bulmer. Checked in the corner by Gill. Gritty shift for these Gladiators. Orlando's able to escape and knock it to the line. Orzek tried to get a glove on it, but sent it into the Orlando bench with 7:46 to play.
Yeah, you said it, Guy. Really gritty shift there for that line of O'Brien, Isley, and Bulmer. It was a really good forecheck by Isley, forcing a turnover on the Orlando defenseman, able to strip that puck from him. And then he centers one to O'Brien, who gets a good one-timer chance in the slot, but a really nice save by Richard.
Face-off in front of the Orlando bench. Sylvester creates a turnover from below the goal line. Britt in the area, looks to get it back to the Solar Bears, and he does. Puck will jumble out to center, or fires it back in. Healy activates into the forecheck here, along with Sylvester, as Orlando quickly has to make its next move. They'll send it down the right wing in hopes of finding Luchuk. That will roll wide of him and end up being an icing with 7:16 on the clock. Gladiators have outshot the Solar Bears 35-20. Been a good night to shoot the puck, that's for sure. And so they have certainly tested this Orlando rookie netminder, making his first professional start in Samuel Richard. Face-off on the far circle. Cipollone will take it against Bardero. He does win it. Conroy point to point, less a drive. That gets blocked. He's able to swipe it to the near circle for Neely. They'll backhand it deeper for Cipollone. Met along the wall. Gladiators keep the zone. Sylvester from the left wing looks to center. Pass is picked off by Britt. He'll lay behind the net for a moment. Now wheel it to the far side. The Solar Bears once again are thwarted on the exit. Tip in front, sends the puck wide off a long shot from Conroy. Now Sylvester behind the net, centers for Cipollone. He's right there in the blue paint, but couldn't tuck it home. The Solar Bears send the puck skipping out the center, but once again it feels like these Gladiators might have him on their heels. Neely sputters the puck down to the trapezoid where it's played by Richard. Solar Bears respond by sliding it through center. Gaudette will track it down, winning a foot race against Eddie. Loses an edge in the near corner, ladles it up ahead to Denemy. Finds Nolan over center circle. He'll brush it right wing to Orzek. Back to Nolan. He'll swoop behind the net. Met at the end wall by Cooper. They'll battle for the puck. It'll drift to the slot. Shot is there. Save made by Richard on Irie, who's able to gather the loose puck.
Yeah, good forecheck by Denemy and Nolan there, able to force that turnover. Solar Bears try to go up the middle on the Gladiators to try and break out. Ends up turning over right on the stick of Kirkland Irie with another nice opportunity on net. But again, a great save by Richard keeps this one tied.
Face off to the left of Richard. 6:09 to play. Gladiators win the draw. Orzek jumps into action from the right point. Ladles it back to McNamee. Shot towards the goal. Gets deflected wide. Puck loose in the near corner. Cooper will lift it up but not out. McNamee with a glove on it. Able to keep it in. Francis drives towards the net but gets boxed out to the near corner. Puck stripped away by Codsey. He'll rumble to the left wing. Over the red line. Widers it into the glove of Semptimfelter, who will hold. Seeing two Solar Bears lurking in the vicinity. 5:43 to play. 3-3 tie. Find out how this one ends when we come back as the Gladiators look to cap off this homestand with a win.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Three game, 5:43 to play, and it feels like the next goal is likely going to be the game winner. These Gladiators have put together quite the show here tonight, trailing by 2 after 1, to tie it after 2 at 3. Face off to the right of Semptimfelter. Young will take this draw against Rollins. Rollins does win it. Orlando with the puck. Gill at the right point, turns and shoots. Blocked by his own man, and Bird. He gets checked off the puck by McNamee on the rebound. He'll send the puck skittering to the neutral zone. Grabbed by Wilson. He'll turn it over. Francis left wing pulls up looking for reinforcements. Leaves it for Orr, but the Solar Bears take it away. 3-on-2 by Skill. Delays. Bird shoots. Semptimfelter saves it. Directs it into the far corner. Shot by Rollins is blocked by Yoder. Sends it up the ice for McNamee. In alone. Stopped by Richard. We had a penalty on that play. 5:09 left in the third. And it looks like McNamee's going to go.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Yoder there, getting that puck up to McNamee, trying to spring him for the breakaway. McNamee a little too hard on the forecheck there, uses his free hand to grab the defender for Orlando to get by him and set himself up with that breakaway, but referee calls a hold on it. Atlanta to the kill late.
So with 5:09 to play, Gladiators head back to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill, in which they are 1 for 2 on tonight. This might be their biggest task of the season. Gladiators have lost heartbreaking games during this losing stretch. As Conroy is able to open this penalty kill with a clear. Gladiators have lost 3 straight 1-goal games. And with Florida currently beating South Carolina 2-1 after 2, this is a prime opportunity for them to slide into a tie for second in the division. Luchuk from the right wing shoots, save made Semptimfelter, and Cipolo will clear on the rebound. Into the final 5 minutes of regulation. 30 seconds gone by on the holding penalty to McNamee. Britt over the attacking line, feeds it to the left wing, takes the return pass, sends it to the trapezoid for Bardero. Gladiators sweep it away from him, but can't clear. Makes its way back to Bardero, who centers from below the goal line. Puck will jumble to the right point for Lucas Savages. He'll trade it off to Luchuk, spinning at the top of the right circle. He enters his way down into the corner and puts it to the line for Britt. Cross ice for Bardero, centers for Rollins, who shoots. Save made Semptimfelter. Puck goes back to Rollins. From the left wing, puts it below the goal line to Lucas Savages. Pass from low to high. Nobody there. Orlando had vacated the far point. Gladiators chase him into their own end. 42 seconds left on the penalty. Down the middle is Rollins. Orr sweeps it away, and the Gladiators clear again.
Really good stick there by Orr. Able to chip that one over to Conroy, who was able to get the clear.
Luciano Wilson will lead this next breakout for the Solar Bears. We're still on the power play for the next 20 seconds. LaPointe spins at center circle away from Nolan. Rushes it right wing for Wilson. Down low, Les gets in front of it at the end wall, met by 2 Solar Bears. Able to somehow sneak his way out of that. Pitch it to the near side for Young. Up the ice to the line. Puck stays in. Pass to the inside. Goes off the stick of Wilson to the far corner. McNamee's out. Gladiators have got the kill. 3 minutes left in regulation as Wilson gets decked by Conroy. Battle for it in the Gladiator trapezoid. Puck will spit up the ice to Nolan. He will clear to McNamee. Over the red line, he will dump it in. And behind the net, he grabbed by Harper. Harper feeds it right wing, blocked by the stick of Isley. And it looks like Isley's going to get called for a penalty here. Got caught up with Harper right at the red line. Gladiators back to the kill with 2:31 to go.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Isley. Trying to get that loose puck. Loose stick there, ends up in the feet of Harper, and he goes down. And Atlanta right back to the kill.
I believe it was a tripping call there. 2:31 left in the third. And, well, the last kill was the biggest of the season, but now this one's going to have to be.
Yep.
Now Matt Ginn getting an explanation. Gladiators head coach who now running solo with Zach Vanel already being chased from the game by this four-man officiating crew. And Matt Ginn having a word with one of our referees, Rocco Stakovia. And Matt Ginn not really liking the call all too much, but not much he can do here. Face off to the right of Felter. Gladiators back to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Solar Bears in the draw, push it down deep. Right wing Bardero up to the line for Britt. At the right point, gives it back to Bardero along the wall. Britt again to the left side. Luchuk back to Britt. He shoots. Felter stops it. They try to sneak it in, but he's able to catch up to it. Chasing it over to the right post, and the Gladiators will clear. And that is going to have to be the Gladiators' MVP on this kill. TJ Felter looking to keep this a tie game. Rollins out of the left corner, sends it deeper to Bardero. Back to Rollins. Now at the left point, Luchuk. Cross ice to Britt. Luchuk again. Britt once more from the high slot. Fakes a shot. Feathers it to the right point for Lucas Savages. Downhill to Bardero. On his forehand. Gets pinned up against the wall by Gaudette. 1 minute left on the penalty. As Britt tries to send it across the line and fans on the pass. Puck will escape the zone. Free clear for Atlanta. Orlando quickly chips it down the right wing wall. Bardero up top to the point. Back to Bardero. He will shoot wide of the mark. Puck will carry him to the far corner. Now Lucas Savages behind the net. Pulls it in and puts it up to the near half wall. Bardero able to sneak out of the coverage from Orr. Goes around the net. Feeds it left wing. Up top they go. The point backdoor to Rollins. He will shoot. Save made. The rebound towards the net. Ready to come off. And the whistle's going to blow with 24 seconds left on the penalty and 55.4 to go in the third.
Yeah, it looked like Orlando ended up knocking that net off behind Felter. Going to be interesting where this faceoff ends up.
And so, into the final minute, 55.4. Almost certainly at this point, the next goal will be the game's winner. But how about TJ Felter here on this penalty kill for the Gladiators? Really all night long. Had a rough start. First period, definitely one that we would have liked to have back. But ever since then, he is really locked in and he's given the Gladiators a chance to win like he's done time and time again this season.
Yep, your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender. And TJ Felter certainly is the Gladiators' best penalty killer right now.
Florida still leads South Carolina 2-1. About 4 minutes gone by in the third there. Gladiators with a win here today and a South Carolina loss. They'll be tied with the Stingrays for second in the division. Solar Bears come back up the ice. Stretch pass to Bird is intercepted. 6 seconds left on the penalty. Gladiators take it away again at center circle. And out of the box is Isley. They've done it again. 2 straight kills in the final 5 minutes of regulation. Back to even strength. 22 seconds to play. Young up the near glass. Met by Wilson. Puck stays in the Gladiator zone. Leaks free to Les. He'll swing it to the right wing for Nolan, who leads one last charge. 10 seconds to go. Pass away from Young. Orlando takes it in a rush to the red line. They chip it up the ice to Drevich. Intercepted by Gaudette. They'll swoop behind the nets. And this game is going to overtime. And the Gladiators thought there should have been a penalty there in the final seconds.
Coach Ginn's got his hands up in the air like, what's going on here? Gaudette clearly tripped up behind his own net late in regulation there.
And you see Matt Ginn on the bench giving that tripping call. He's trying to do everything he can to get a call here. And the Gladiators don't get it. Even Cody Sylvester going over to the referee saying, hey, what are we doing?
Can't buy a call right now.
But off to overtime we go. So in the ECHL, 7-minute overtime period, but it is still 3-on-3 like you would see in the NHL. Just a couple extra minutes added here. So the Gladiators and the Solar Bears will now go to 3-on-3 action. And both teams have collected a point in the standings. For Orlando, doesn't mean much to them. They've been eliminated from postseason contention, but they're now up to 58. For the Gladiators, it means a whole lot more because now they're up to 89, just 1 point back of South Carolina for second in the division. And of course, if they win here in overtime, they would then tie the Stingrays with 90 points for second and home ice advantage in round number 1, who they will play the Stingrays in. It would stay that way if Florida is able to beat South Carolina like they are right now. Here's how we got here. Orlando led 3-1 after 1. Solar Bears get goals from Lucas Savages on the power play, Garagach and Bird. Gladiators got one of the man advantage from McNamee as it was 3-1 after 1. Gladiators flipped the script in the second period. They tie the game with goals from Neely and Francis. And after a scoreless third period, to overtime we go. Gladiators this season in overtime are 7-3. The Solar Bears this season in overtime are 2-4. Gladiators will send out Conroy, O'Brien, and Bulmer to begin the extra frame. The Solar Bears, Luchuk, Bardero, and Britt. Extra action in Duluth. A fitting way, an entertaining way to end the final home game of the regular season. The Solar Bears have possession to start overtime after winning the opening faceoff. Britt will lead the charge, even it for Bardero, and now Luchuk, who skates over the red line, and now Gladiator Blue. Luchuk trying to win it himself, snaps a shot from the left wing. That's blocked by Conroy. Puck available behind the net. Luchuk will sling it to the line for Britt as Orlando keeps possession. Luchuk right wing, feeds it across. Bardero reverses to the far side. From the circle, leaves it for Britt. Now Luchuk with the give and go, has it from the right wing. He will shoot, shot flubs wide. Available on the rebound in the near corner. Britt has it. Puck will jumble off his stick thanks to contact from Conroy. And now for the first time here in overtime, 45 seconds in, the Gladiators will possess the puck.
Yeah, possession so keen in overtime, so important.
Here's a turnover. Rollins shakes it away from O'Brien. Strong on it, looks to center. Gladiators going to stick on it to keep him to the outside. Rollins' second attempt at a centering feed is intercepted. And away goes O'Brien. Down the right wing, he shoots wide of the mark and out of play with 5:49 on the clock in overtime.
Yeah, just said it before there. Possession in overtime is so important. You don't want to allow your opponent any time with the puck on their stick. It was a good start for Orlando there. Had possession for about 45 seconds to start, but a good job by Conroy there, forcing a turnover, and then another one in the neutral zone sprung Jack O'Brien.
Young, Isley, and Orzek on the ice for Atlanta. Young wins the offensive zone face-off. Orzek has it at the line. He'll surf to the left point, creates some separation. Orzek to the goal! Save made by Richard! No rebound.
Great move there by Nolan Orzek. Up at the point, low stop and go move around Lucas Savages. Able to take it to the net. But again, a nice save by Richard there. Stoning Orzek.
And he's so shifty, and really that's when he's at his best. He's able to slink away from pressure like that. All started thanks to the face-off win from Young, but not going to win this one here. Orlando's won the latest. And now streaking up the ice is Harper. Trades it off the right wing to Kodzi. Now at the left, it's Rollins. Puck glances off the stick to the trapezoid, and the Gladiators get it back. Young up the ice for Isley. Pulls up along the far wall, tries to thread it up ice. Missed Orzek on the pass, and thankfully, the Gladiators do get it back. Orzek will now wait behind Semptimfelter. See if the Gladiators change personnel here. Young out to the neutral zone. Looks like he will go off. Isley will stay on as Orzek emerge. Looks like Neely comes on for Young. He'll swoop out to the right wing. Neely driving down the wall. Feels some contact on his way to the trapezoid. makes his way out to the neutral zone on a pass to Les. Sylvester on as well. Over the attacking line, Sylvester holds, ladles downhill to Neely. On his forehand, leaves it for Les. He will hold, he will pass it across. Neely couldn't get a stick on it. Ended up colliding with Richard. Sylvester picks up the loose puck at center. 4:28 left in overtime. All tied up at 3. Les on his forehand as Sylvester at the red line. He will backpedal a bit, swing it left wing to Neely. The two longtime teammates looking to get this win in overtime. Neely probing for a puck as he heads off, sends it deep into Orlando ice. Solar Bears with possession as we approach 4 minutes left in the extra frame. Britt will leave it for Luchuk. Over the red line, met at blue. Hangs on to it, barreling down the right wing. Gets caught up to by Conroy in the far corner. Big check divorces him from the puck. Francis will handle. He'll leave it for Conroy. Makes his way over center circle, and it rolled off his stick to the near boards, and thankfully able to get it back. Throws it back to Francis in his own end of the ice. Ryan Francis already with a goal and assist here today. Makes his way down the left wing and shoots. Shot goes wide. Francis picks up his own rebound along the near boards. He'll cycle up high, barrel towards the net. Francis to win it all. Goes around, still hanging on. And he gets bumped off the puck by Bardero. Luchuk up the ice for Bardero. Over the blue line from the right circle. Pulls up away from Orzek. Ends up trying to find a man downhill. Gladiators take it away. It's Bulmer lugging it down the left wing. He'll pull up in center. O'Brien will hold on, make his way to the goal line, and out center where it's picked off by Bardero. He'll lob it up the ice for Lucas Savages. Orzek is able to reel that in and pull it away. 2:35 left in overtime. Bulmer right behind Septemfelter, but only for a moment. Kodzi shadowing him. Forced to throw it up ice to O'Brien. No look pass on time for Les. He'll gain the attacking line, drifting down the left wing and immediately pull back out through the neutral zone. And the Gladiators need this extra point more than the Solar Bears do. This point means nothing to Orlando, but everything to the Gladiators. Turnover at center. Rollins has it down the left wing. Cuts to the goal. Boxed out nicely by Les. And up the ice goes Isley. Adam Isley, what do you got? Fires a shot wide. Young has the rebound along the left wing. Pinned up by Bird. Puck loose. Conroy's got it. He gets pinned up by Gill. Young still working for it. Has it taken away. Bird up ice. 2-on-1 for Orlando. Isley, the low man back. Saucer pass across. Shot saves Septemfelter. And he has the loose puck. Spits it into the near corner. Orzek swaddled up. Loses the puck. Wilson centers for a shot. And they score. The Orlando Solar Bears spoil the party. They win it 4-3 in overtime.
Feels like there should have been a whistle or something down there in that end. It looked like Septemfelter had the puck. Alex Young, hands up right at the referee. Not sure what went on down there. The goal light went on behind the net for a whistle, but no whistle. This one's over. Atlanta not too happy with the Stripes after this one. Coach Ginn still looking for an explanation.
I'm in disbelief. I can't believe what we just saw.
Ryan Francis giving it to the referees right now as well.
I mean, that right there was just a microcosm of this game.
Yep.
We'll recap that in a moment, but for the Solar Bears, a couple of their members out to congratulate Cody Sylvester, who just played in his final regular season home game here at Gas South Arena. Valiant effort from these Gladiators in an attempt to break their losing skid, but the Orlando Solar Bears spoil the party. They're able to take this one by the final score of 4-3 in overtime. That'll do it for our coverage here on Peachtree Sports Network. Thank you for those of you who have watched on PSN with us all season long. Here on Fan Appreciation Night, I'd like to acknowledge you, the fans, and thank you for tuning into Gladiators hockey. Final score, Orlando 4, Atlanta 3. For Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long. Bonus coverage here from Gas South Arena. Solar Bears win it with 1:28 left in overtime. And, this is one of those games where felt it was physical. It was physical all the way through. We knew it might be that way based off the last meeting between these two teams. But it really became apparent here tonight that fireworks to be seen here today as well. And as a result of that, there were multiple plays in this game that could have been called as penalties. They weren't, and I think as a result of that, you saw the pot boil over a couple times here today where it got to a point where even Zach Fennell, the Gladiators assistant coach, got fed up and tried to say something about it. He got tossed from the game, and you get to overtime, and really late in the third period, too, where there could have been some calls that could have changed the outcome of this game. And really, sometimes it's about what is called and what isn't that does dictate the outcome of the game. And get to a point late in overtime where you think there could have at least been a whistle there on a play that DJ Septemfelter made a save, and ends up not happening for these Gladiators. And all in all, Solar Bears were able to come away with a 4-3 victory. Here's how it broke down. Solar Bears led this game 3-1 after one period of play. So the fact that the Gladiators were able to scrape a point out of this game is a good omen in itself. Solar Bears opened the scoring with 12:14 left in the first with a power play goal from Jared Lucas Savages. Gladiators tied the game about 2 minutes later with a power play goal of their own from Mike McNamee. Orlando then followed that up with two more first period goals from Garagach and Bird to take a 3-1 lead, but the Gladiators went surging in that second period. They got goals from Francis and Neely to make it a 3-3 tie. That's where we sat for the longest time. Scoreless third period and into overtime. And again, it really felt like in a game like this, especially after the Gladiators came up with two big penalty kills at the end of regulation to earn that extra point, send this game to overtime. It ends up being that the Solar Bears spoil the party on Cody Sylvester's final regular season home game. They're able to win it in overtime, as it looks like Dylan Gill is credited with the overtime winner from Wilson and Bird, 5:32 into the extra frame. And the Gladiators' losing skid has now hit 5 straight games, their longest of the season. Andrew, it really feels like in a game like this where the first period for the Gladiators was not good by any means, but really with the way that they played for the final 40, felt like they deserved a better outcome than this.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Guy. It felt like the Gladiators really, from the jump in the second period, they controlled that entire game all the way through. Just a tough break for them in overtime. Just a tough one for Atlanta here tonight.
And you don't want to harp on the officiating, but again, I felt like in a game like this, and I'm not one to judge, right? I'm not the one with the ECHL rulebook. I'm not the one with years of training to be an ECHL official, but it felt like in a game like this, there were some things that were let go, and we saw it boil over, especially with Zach Fennell and the Gladiators, and even the Solar Bears at times were up in arms about things that were not called. And on a night like this, and a game that meant so much to the Gladiators, they end up falling in overtime, and that's a tough way to go. But here in-house, they play a couple of farewell messages from Gladiators brass and teammates of Cody Sylvester in what is his final regular season home game, as it looks like his teammates have come out onto the bench to accompany the captain, who has stayed out to watch this video. And so, unfortunately, the Gladiators, hopefully, this was going to be a winning moment, but unfortunately, it is a losing one. But all in all, the real winner here is Cody Sylvester. Fantastic career, and wishing him all the best in retirement. And the best part is it's not over yet. And we will upload this to YouTube, so friends and family of Cody Sylvester can watch this as well. These messages certainly wouldn't translate off the arena speakers well to our crowd mic here, so that is why I'm talking over it right now for those of you watching on Flow Hockey. But for Cody Sylvester, it's been a heck of a ride, and the best part is it's not over. These guys who've come out back onto the bench and onto the ice to join him in this moment, they're going to be with him to the end, and hopefully it is going to be an ending that ends in June. For the Gladiators, yes, it's a 5-game losing skid right now, but there still is time to find a way to turn things around before the beginning of the Kelly Cup playoffs. Gladiators outshoot the Solar Bears 39-26 in this game. A game where the Gladiators, again, really turned it around after a tough first period. Gladiators go 1 for 3 on the power play, 3 for 4 on the penalty kill. And I really thought TJ Sempton-Felter rebounded after a rough first period as well. Gave the Gladiators a chance to win, but ultimately they do fall short in overtime. And now they will spend the final 3 games of the regular season on the road. Quick turnaround, Andrew. They are off to Jacksonville for tomorrow night's matchup.
Yeah, just to touch on Sempton-Felter real quick. We said it after the 3rd goal that Orlando scored in that first period. Felt like that was one that he probably wanted back. But then just from there on, he completely shut the door. So a great game for TJ to really bounce back after that first period and really give his guys a chance to win late in this game.
And so for the Gladiators, they do have points in back-to-back games, both overtime losses. Gladiators now fall to 42-22, 4-1 on the season. 89 points, has the one back of South Carolina for now, who is currently in Florida in a game that the Everblades still lead 2-1 with 12:22 left in the third. So I make that 3-1 with 7 minutes left in the third. This thing refreshed really slowly for some reason. I watched the time about the clock, and then they add one to Florida. So the Everblades are doing the Gladiators a favor here. 3-1 the score over South Carolina late in that game. And so the South Carolina loss and the Gladiators picking up a point here today. They're just one back for second in the division with now 3 games to play on the season. So games 70, 71, and 72 will all be played on the road. We'll resume things with a quick turnaround tomorrow night in Jacksonville as the Gladiators meet the Jacksonville Icemen for the final regular season meeting between those 2 teams. Gladiators have a chance to eliminate the Icemen from postseason contention as Cody Sylvester gets one last tribute here at Gas South Arena and gives his guys a fist bump on the bench one last time on home ice in the regular season. The chase for the Kelly Cup continues in Jacksonville tomorrow night. 7 o'clock start time, 6:40 pregame show. Hope to have you with us here on the Gladiators Broadcast Networks on Flow Hockey and YouTube. For Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau, I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long. Your final score here, Orlando 4, Atlanta 3, final in overtime.